Hello.
Hello.
There we go.
Doo-doo-doo.
Welcome to episode 1 of Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Dungeons and Dragons is Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
Dun dun dun.
Fuju Gaming presents Dungeons and Dragons is Ghosts of Saltmarsh, Part 1, Episode 1. The beginning.
The first
beginning.
The one that came before all of the other ones.
The one where we actually begin the questing.
The start of startings.
Ooh.
So what are we doing here, guys?
We're gonna go to Saltmarsh, which is salty.
I've heard that.
It's sort of almost like a swamp or a bog.
Yeah, if only there was another word for
that.
that.
Not really either of those things.
No, like something else that was like started with an M, maybe? I don't.
Yeah.
What would that word even be, though?
Just bayou.
Couldn't a bayou. Ghost of Salinated Bayou. Yeah, I can see why they didn't go with that title.
The Salinated Bayou. That's probably my favorite of bayous.
It's a good one.
Outside the peppered one. A peppered bayou is not a good bayou, let me tell you.
A peppered bayou? Yeah, that seems like it would be a lot of problems. Like, what do you even do on a peppered bayou? Like, well, hold on.
A lot.
Do you catch catfish on a bayou? I feel like catfish are on bayous, right?
I would never catch a catfish ever.
I mean, I wouldn't, but like...
Have you guys ever seen that show Swamp People, where they like go catfishing with their arm?
Yeah!
They dip it in the river, and then they come out and they got this catfish on the arm, and they're like, check it! Look what I got!
Dude, that shit is crazy.
Literally up to their elbow.
You know there's a real problem with very occasionally them doing that, and there being like snapping turtles down there. Just take a whole damn arm off.
Lost his fingers.
Yeah, dude. No, that's a thing.
I went to a lake by where I live like a week ago, and there was like there was a bunch of like little box turtles, and then there was like a snapping turtle in the group, and the snapping turtle's like 3 times their size, and it was pretty big. Like,
was just snapping on the little box turtles, or like he was just like chilling with them?
No, they're just chilling because they're all like, they're bros. But like, I think if a fish walked by, or swam by, I guess they'd probably go after that guy.
Yeah, if you see a fish walk by, you go after it too, because like there's some shit going on.
They're on a quest. Is really.
That's a motivated ass fish. Like, where did he even get
like
the legs from?
And a hat, like.
Well, that's just a man trying to get to work. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I gotta respect that. You gotta respect the hustle. The fish is hustling so hard, he went and got himself some legs, and a job, and a hat, probably a briefcase. So what have you guys been up to? It's been a week. I actually haven't talked to Dylan in a week. Actually, I don't think I've talked to you in a week either, Muffin.
Yeah, Muffin, where have you been? You start.
Yeah, I went to a cidercade. Like, I went out into public.
What?
So that's like a thing, right? But this place has apparently been open the entire. Okay, hold on. Let me tell you a story about this cidercade. So it's brand new. It used to be a Joe's Crab Shack. To give you any kind of like an idea, it's like on the lake, so it's actually in a really nice spot. It's a pretty cool like deal. It's like $10 to get in. You play unlimited like old school arcade games, which is super cool. And like, for $10, like for the variety, it's a pretty good time. It's like better than going to Dave and Buster's and having to pay like $75 to do the same. But
it gets like $10.
Yeah, it's just $10 flat to enter, and that's just like the cover. But then all the games are free, like free play. So you could play Gauntlet through and through, free play, unlimited lives. No needing to get new quarters. And then the other facet of it, it's like a microbrewery for ciders. So they have all kinds of really amazing ciders. Like they're like They had this pineapple apple cider that was like
the
bomb.
pineapple apple pen. Yes.
But so here's the shit though. So we go in onto the like patio area, and there's just some like raccoons that are just like around. They're super friendly, so obviously like drunk people are like feeding them. You can get food at this place. Like, you can get pizzas and stuff like that. So like obviously there's like a family of them, and I'm like, there's like this girl who's sitting there, and there's like this raccoon that's like going right under her feet, and like she doesn't even see it, and then she finally notices it, she, like, jumps, and like her friends kind of laugh, and everyone's like strangely okay with it. Like, if that was me, I would not be okay. I would be like, I need to leave. I'd be jumping over the thing, sprinting to freaking Narnia. Like, I would not be okay at all. And
hold on,
they took it in stride.
I kind of like my stream paused for like a second there, and I came back with like, and there was like families of them, and then they're kind of like underneath their legs and stuff. I don't know what we're talking about. Wait,
raccoons.
Yo, no, make up something worse. Hype it up. You don't know.
At the cidercade.
at the cidercade, yeah. So this is like right outside, and there's like, so.
Like, do they work there? Are they employee raccoons?
At a certain point, I'm like, okay, these guys are obviously friendly, so I like was more okay. And then we go inside to get cider. We come back out after playing some games, and we just look on the railing, like right above where the door is, and you just see the raccoon just chilling there, just like looking out, like thinking about like the next person to come by with a pizza to be like, this one's mine, and just like going like, surprise, motherfucker. And like,
that's probably what it is, though. There's probably enough people that are just like, hey, I'm gonna leave my plate over here and like a couple of like pieces of crust on it. I'm just gonna leave this over here, and like maybe a raccoon takes it, maybe it doesn't. I don't know, not my problem.
How big are these raccoons?
Raccoon, not my problem.
Like, are these like regular sized raccoons? Because raccoons are pretty big. Like,
so
they're not like tiny. Like,
there was the family. There's like, so the big, like, I'm assuming Papa, the big mama, and then like two like littler ones that weren't babies, but they were definitely younger. And but like,
so there's just like 4 raccoons just like chilling.
Like, and people were taking pictures. A dude pet one. I'm like, you're freaking. Well, are you from Florida? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's some Florida shit.
Like,
saw me a raccoon. I was like, well, might as well pet him. Seemed friendly. Why not?
Florida man gets rabies from raccoon in Austin cidercade. Like, I see the headline clear as day. Like, I don't know.
I'd read that article.
Man has to travel to Austin to get rabies from a raccoon. But you know,
he didn't have to. He didn't have to, but he did.
That's what Jacksonville's for. Everyone knows that. No,
does everybody know that? I don't. Yeah. You know stuff about Florida? Tell me about Florida. Tell me about Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, well, Gainesville, I guess, is really where it's at.
Talk some shit about Florida. Why not?
I don't really have a whole lot of trash to talk about Florida. I just know that Gainesville is in the headlines all the time for like some guy who's on like meth or something getting arrested.
Oh man, my favorite Florida man story was definitely off of Cox and Crendor. If y'all ever get a chance to go listen to their podcast or watch like the animated shorts, definitely go do that. But there was one that they were talking about where there was a guy who got arrested for going to a bank and trying to cash a check, which was obviously not his, or not like actually made out to him, but somebody had sold him a blank check, and he tried to cash it for $63 million. Like,
dang, that didn't work.
I know, right? Dang. I know, right?
Tough luck.
It's like, one, why would you go for 63? That's such a weird ass number. 2, like, a million? Really? Like, what made you think that the person whose check that this was like, had that much money? But anyway, so he told the police that this guy had sold it to him for $100 and said that the check was good for any amount.
Checks out.
Yeah, so a guy bought a stolen check for $100 and tried to cash it for $63 million. Florida.
That's a bold move.
It's
either gonna work or
bold. Yeah, that could have been a money play. That dude could have been halfway to Tahiti right now.
Like this looks
no, but you're right
like
though.
A solid investment to me. I don't know.
I mean, I just feel that like, even if that check had like gone through, I feel like somebody would have made a phone call, just like, sir, we have somebody trying to cash a check for $63 million. We just needed to confirm that this is coming out of your account first. Like,
I just like to think about the guy on that street who's selling. He's like, "Sir, hold on, sir, please. Would you like to double your money? How about multiply it by $6,300,000?" Like,
wow, that's math I can't even do.
Oh.
Yeah.
For simply $100, I'll give you this check. For whatever amount you want.
That's right. So that's a super good one. The one that I believe might be less true, but I really truly want to believe in my heart, was the one where a lady trains a pack of squirrels to attack her ex. Yep.
Jeez. How do you
Florida. I
know.
know.
I feel like if she got that to work, like, she kind of deserves it, because that seems just like a lot of effort. Like,
fair.
I can't even teach my dog how to roll over. So, I mean, if you can change a whole pack of squirrels to do something like that, like, attack squirrels, like, I mean,
really.
I like, honestly impressive. And like, they did too, for the record. That's why she got arrested, is that they actually did attack her ex. Like, it happened. Her dreams came true. Man was mauled by squirrels.
Yeah. Then, like, really, we should be learning from this person, not incarcerating her. That's.
I don't know if I would go that far, but
she runs the animal handling class in the prison.
For real. Better hope there's no mice in that prison, dude. She's getting out. She's getting out for sure. Oh man. Prison. So Dylan, I heard from a very reliable source, that you had some puns. You did some homework. You came prepared.
Yeah. I got my character is a fisherman, and so I looked up a website for fishing puns and proverbs to use in the game tonight, and I think it's going to work out pretty well, as long as I remember to use them and don't get distracted and not use any of them, which is, it's a pretty strong possibility, but it might,
honestly.
We'll see if it works out. You'll see.
What's your favorite one on the list?
Let me.
Hold on. Save your favorite one. What's your second favorite one?
There's not that many, so.
What's your least favorite one on the list?
My least favorite one. Okay, it's only like a page long, so let me just go ahead and. All right. No.
Start from the top.
Yeah. No, there's a bunch of them on here. Let me. There was a couple good ones. Hang on. Let's see. I feel like, hang on, I put them on the notepad here. Oh yeah. Give a man a fish and he will eat for a day. Teach a man to fish and he will sink a boat and drink beer all day. Or sit in a boat and drink beer all day. I like that one.
If he sank that boat, that'd be.
Yeah. He'll sink the boat and then catch all of the fish with his bare hands.
Sink the boat and then get real drunk because he just lost his boat.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I feel bad for that guy. You really should not have thought that dude had fish. Could have taken out like a lot of extra steps and just bought him a beer.
That's true.
Yeah.
You could just buy beer, but it's not a sport if you're just drinking beer. You got to be doing something else. That's why they invented beer pong, Like,
I mean, it's
for when fishing's not around,
It's for when.
It could be. It might be.
Someone explained fishing to me as it is a masculine way to meditate. And I was like, that makes complete and utter sense.
Okay.
Because I never really understood why, like I get, you get to go and drink a beer, whatever, like in nature, but I could do that at home too. and not be in nature. But the idea is that like, yeah, you're meditating because you're away from everything and you're just in the calm. And it's the same concepts of like doing like yoga types of meditation without all the connotation of it. And that's why people like the masculine thing is to go fishing. And I think that's interesting.
I like the Ron Swanson quote from Parks and Rec when he's like, I like fishing. It's like, it's relaxing, but I still get to kill something. Like,
it's really bringing it down to its bare bones.
Yeah. I can see like hunting being like pretty similar too. There's a lot more work after the fact with hunting though.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, I like going fishing, but to be honest, every time I go fishing, it's like, it's all cool. Like, I like the part where I'm just hanging out, casting out, and drinking a beer. And then I actually like catch a fish, and you have to like reel it in, and like you want to reel it in, but I don't even really like eating fish that much. So I usually just release it anyway, and it just like, it's a lot of work, and like I try and grab the fish, and it like flops around in my hand, and I'm like, it's all slimy, like, and then it usually gets away.
And then you drop it, and then you're sad, and then you're like, why do I do this? And then you drink another beer, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Then I spend like the next 20 minutes trying to tie the next hook on the line, and then get frustrated and just sit there and drink beer.
Fair.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good day.
My dad's really enjoying, he's got a house down by the beach now, and there's a little like canal, like right on the back of the house. There's like a boat lift and like a canal and stuff. So he's really enjoying just like he keeps the rods and like fishing pole and stuff out there, and then just every once in a while he'll just kind of walk out there, take a couple of casts, catch a fish, come back in, just like, hey, caught a fish, just slap it in the freezer.
I feel like I'd like fishing a lot more if I
pretty much
eating the fish, you know.
Yeah,
but I don't really like eating the fish that much, so I usually just catch it and then put it back, and then
yeah, I think most of them he just tosses back.
Kind of a pain too, yeah.
But I don't know enough about fishing to remember what kind of fish he said he catches, but like there's a couple of kind, and like I think most of them are like gross, so he just like tosses them back and just like, oh hey, neat, this is a big one, cool, back in the canal you go. But every once in a while there's yeah, right, exactly. Every once in a while he'll catch a big one that's like actually like edible or like tastes pretty good, and they'll just fry it up on the grill right there. So I mean, that's pretty neat. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty good retired life, right? Just like, what'd you do? I don't know, drink beer in the backyard and fished all day. How many fish to catch? I don't know, like 15, 20. Like, what? Okay.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. I think you would have to let some of them go. There's like
oh yeah,
you're only allowed to keep.
You're
like
you just like narked on your dad to the Parks and Rec.
Oh, they're coming after.
Well, no, like I said, they let like he puts almost all of them back in there. Like every once in a while, you keep one.
Those dudes are super cops. They can check your stuff.
I just made that whole shit up, man. Like, I don't even got a dad, dude. You know? No, I didn't say that.
They're coming for you. They're coming.
No, like, this ain't even me right now, man. This is some of that new like green screen technology. You see this? It's laggy. You see that? Because it's all computer generated. Yeah. It's all CGI. On an unrelated note, I'll be right back. 1 second. I have to just make a phone call real quick. I'll be right back. Keep no dead air. Keep going.
No,
damn.
Yeah, I feel like
he actually has a phone call. I thought that was like a bit.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go warn his dad because those game and
Parks and Wildlife.
Parks and Game, yeah, they come in and they just like walk over to the creek and like dip their finger in the water and they smell it and they go, "There's only 79 fish in here right now."
Yeah.
Wait, what?
We're talking about Parks and Wildlife and how they're coming. You're calling your dad to let him know that they're coming for him because they already know. They're sensitive.
Siri, text dad. They're on their way. Move. Code blue.
It's too late.
But yeah, so yeah, some good shit. Maybe one day when I retire to some estate somewhere, I hope I can live such a relaxing life.
No, me too.
That'd be
I hope
good.
I can retire. That'd be cool.
Wow. That's a big mood. That's a big mood.
I'm really banking on the bus personally, but
yeah. So I heard a very unreliable rumor that there was going to be some Dungeons and Dragons on this channel tonight.
I don't think that's true. I think that's a lie.
Yeah, probably not. It's seeming like a hard no. But oh, hey, look at that, a host. Dragon's Hearth D&D. Thank you. Appreciate that so much. And that's a wonderful time because we're actually just about to get started. So, since this is the first episode,
episode 1, the beginning.
The
wow, Elegante. Wow, you're really committing to this joke. So since this is holy shit, you're really throwing me right when I was about to start a thing.
We're playing episode 1, Papers, Please.
Yeah, episode 1, we're gonna play Papers, Please, the RPG. I actually just mistyped really the name of the stream. So, but yeah, so we're gonna just have a quick conversation. It's good to have at the start of any like campaign, or if you're playing with like a new group about like ways to handle situations where people might not be super comfortable or even just like bored with what's going on. So some people will call these like safety tools. Some people will say that, you know, there's like more or less like complicated or obtrusive ways of doing it. We're all pretty close friends and we've known each other for like a little while now. So we're going to be a little bit loosey-goosey with it. If this was like a bunch of random people, then we'd probably set up some more like hard and fast rules for how we're going to do this. But like I said, we're all good friends, so it's a pretty good environment. That being said, it's still always good to have these conversations because you never know when something's going to come up that's going to bug you. So, what are some things that you guys would like to like gloss over?
Gloss over or like not discuss rather. Keep
yeah, I mean either or. I mean, I think we can all agree that like like there's some stuff that we just don't want, that like we talked about before the show, that we just don't want in the show at all. We kind of had a brief discussion about this before. Dylan, you had the example of like sometimes when you play with people and they're just like, okay, well, I stabbed the guard because I'm evil and like whatever. And that kind of thing has a tendency to like derail the session or even a whole campaign.
Yeah, no murder hoboing. I think that's a big thing.
But I'm a rogue.
Yeah,
that's what my whole role is. A murder hobo.
Well, so the thing is like to be sneaky about it, I guess, right? So like if you get in the situation where like
murder hobo.
Yeah, if you get in the situation where you're like, I want to kill the guard, then maybe let's discuss how to do that like subtly and not get us banned from the town that's the hub of the module.
Yeah, to me, like, I agree with that kind of stuff. I mean, I think just like going entirely off, like trying to go off too much on a tangent can kind of derail these kind of games. And like, I know it makes it hard on like a DM if someone's just like really not trying to go into what the story is, and that can be kind of annoying. So I think I like it more when try and just I mean, hopefully it's relatively clear on like what we need to do to like progress. So just try not to go off too far onto tangents. Not saying that like any kind of like stuff is bad or like outside of that, but
okay, yeah. So I mean, that's mostly on you and me. So
yeah.
So I guess then for all three of us, then let's just try to be aware of like we're here to play through the module. So let's kind of if we're getting too off track, then I think Muffin, you'll probably be the best arbiter of like where this is supposed to be leading. So if we start getting too off track of like what we should be doing or something, kind of steer us back on the course, you know.
I'll make sure you guys stay in the safe waters of Saltmarsh.
Yeah. When the level 1 baby lands, not in the like level 9 not baby lands.
Yeah, I think that, and then the only other thing I can think of is like sometimes in the groups, like I don't think that this will happen this time because it's just you and me, Fuj, but like sometimes groups get like divided and people like some people want to do one thing and other people want to do another, and then it ends up like they try and split, or like one person goes rogue and like tries to do their own thing on the side, and that can be kind of annoying too. So usually with like 2 people, I don't think that's too much of an issue, but sometimes it's a little
Yeah,
annoying.
probably
Stuff like that happens.
Yeah, that probably won't be too much of an issue. Do you want to say like ahead of time if there is a spot where we do like we can't agree? Do you want to just like agree to like roll a flat d20 or something?
Yeah, just like flip a coin or something to like see what route we take or something. Yeah. I'm
Sure.
fine with that. Like, I mean, I don't think that's going to be an issue anyway, but
I mean, probably not, but again, like
yeah.
If we have it ahead of time, then we can just be like, "Oh yeah, here."
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Whatever we want to do to resolve those kind of issues.
Cool.
Yeah.
Muffin, is there anything that is there anything that you want us to like try to avoid to like make everything easier on you?
The big ones, murder hoboing. Also, if you kind of feel like if things aren't like kind of playing out how you envision them playing it out, just let me know. If you're like, actually, I meant more like this is what I was trying to do, not like do a backflip. I was trying to do a flip over here. I was flipping the table, kind of thing.
I said somersault, not cartwheel.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, open lines of communication. That's a big thing. Just chat it out, and if you have any, if I think you guys are spending too much time on nothing, I'll probably let you know, or I'll let you suffer because I'll be funnier. We'll see. Case by case basis.
I mean, whatever makes for the better scene, right? Exactly. If the scene's going well, just maybe let it play. Like it's fine. Okay. I do have one more like minor pet peeve. Like narrating for the characters. Like, let me. How do I put this? I'll point it out if it happens, but like narrating like how my character would do something rather than like just the results, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like Muffin doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Sure.
We'll come to a better example of that because I know that's like super vague, but
so it's like if you try and like pick a lock or something and he adds more to it, it's like, oh, you sneakily like round the corner and try and fiddle with the lock a little bit and it doesn't work, and so you end up like just shoving a knife in there and turning it, like that kind of stuff. Is that
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just be like, nah, man, you rolled like a 2. Like, nah. You can tell me how you fuck it up.
Yeah. I think that makes it easier on the DM anyway, because I always think that's like the hard part to like come up with that kind of.
Yeah, it definitely can be sometimes. It's just like, you got an 11. That's not good, but like it's not horrible. I don't know. No. Like, all right, I got this.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, that's all I got. Let's start the episode. And that would be a good place for a transition, but I don't have one, so. Okay, gonna need that every time now.
That was the transition. And here we are in Saltmarsh. the raging seas come into. I don't want to narrate. I'm sorry.
Bro, keep going. I was gonna clip that for later. That was gonna be the intro soundbite.
That's it. That was it. Kid, take us away, Dylan. No, okay. So what's your character's name, Fooge?
Eartos.
There's 4 consonants in a row.
Eartos. Okay.
Actually, 3. That's okay.
It's 3.
Eartos. The Celestin. Okay. Brevin. Okay. Just taking some notes. Cool. So as we kind of half left off, last time, Iratos was fleeing from the his place of home, or I guess refugeeing, leaving, exodusing away towards Saltmarsh after he found out that many, in fact, all of his townsfolk or neighbors have disappeared. So in search of them, he headed towards Saltmarsh, where he ran into a Drevin along the road back into town. Drevin, go ahead and give me a survival roll really quick.
Dang. Starting
I mean,
off
that's
Go
hard,
off the
man.
bat.
Bro,
Actually, sorry, because you explicitly have the fishing skill. Give me fishing instead.
Is there like an actual skill check for fishing?
Aren't you proficient in fishing? Isn't that like a whole deal?
Yeah, fishing's not like a skill on the sheet.
It would be with the
Okay,
tools. It'd be under tools
Then
on
go
the bottom
ahead and-
left.
Where's tools?
Bottom
it
left.
should be on your sheet. Let me see. Otherwise, go ahead, just give me survival with advantage.
I can. I don't see where the tools are.
It's above your proficiencies. There's a section for tool proficiencies and custom skills.
I have tool, but I only have thieves tools in there. I don't have any custom skills.
So you ought to have fishing in there, but that's okay. Just go ahead and give me survival with advantage, and then that'll be good enough. Okay.
That is a 12.
So you managed to get a sizable amount of fish during your catch earlier today. The sun is starting to come down, so you know it's time to go back to town to kind of like feed, cook your fish and kind of sell it, do whatever you want with it. And that's when you run into a lizard born named Ertos.
Lizard folk, sir.
Lizard folk. Sorry.
I'm a folk. Not a born.
The lizard folk.
Clarification question. You said all of my like neighbors and stuff had gone missing. Was this like overnight or like gradually?
It was gradually, but kind of like since you live out more in the kind of like nature of it, like
Okay.
as the hermit, you didn't kind of notice it as readily. So the last time you saw anybody was a while ago, but that's not uncommon either. But then when you went looking for people, you couldn't find them.
Oh. Lost to Dylan.
Dylan is...
Okay, so... Okay, so I lost... Alright, I lost my neighbors. I don't know where they went. I was gone for a couple months, and then I, like, went to the farmer's market one day, and then there was suddenly no farmer's market.
Basically, yes.
Basically, okay, cool. It's like, wait a minute. Shouldn't there be food here?
I got some fish if you want it.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm heading into town, and then I find this fisherman's. Right? Like I'm just bumping into fisherman's? Cool.
Yep. Hauling back a big load. Got a hefty catch here.
Excuse me,
fish
sir.
just slung over his shoulder.
I don't suppose you could share some fish with me.
Sure. Bragging may not bring happiness, but no man having caught a large fish goes home through the alley. That's one of the fishing quotes.
I'm sorry, my common is a little rusty. What?
Sure, have a fish. Which one would you like? We got the silver pike, we got the trout.
I'll take a trout, I suppose.
Sure. What's your name, my friend?
My name is Irtos.
Irtos, what brings you to this part of the woods?
Well, I lived on the edge of this lizard folk tribe. Village? Village? What would they call it? Probably a village?
It's like a nomadic village, yeah.
I tend to live on the outskirts of this village. We move around a lot. I try to keep to myself, but one day I came to town and I noticed the rest of the tribe was mysteriously gone, without all of their things. Bit of an issue.
'Tis a bit strange.
Looking for someone who might have some information about it.
I've not seen anyone in these parts in quite a while. I've been out on the seas for quite a few days, though.
Interesting. Well, I'm not as familiar with the town. I don't suppose you could help me find some information or someone who might know?
Come with me, Ertos. I haven't been much to this town either, but I'm sure we'll find a helpful friend in this around a saloon, I'm sure.
Spectacular.
Cool. So as you guys head towards the town, you see this massive scaling wall. It's not so massive. It's not like anything it's a pretty standard city wall. It's protecting the northern front of the city. So you guys would be heading south down this road. And as hold on one second.
So we're coming from the north, is what you're saying?
Yes. So you guys would be on this thing. You guys would be coming right here.
Sorry, can you ping it again?
Are you seeing the ping?
Yeah, can you ping it? I can't see it.
I'm pinging. It's at the southern. So like, look at the compass.
Oh,
roads.
Okay. So we're going north, or what? Like
south.
East in towards the town.
You'd be going.
We're going
south.
east into town.
What?
Look at the compass.
Oh wait, what? Oh my god!
That's weird.
That's right.
Why
I heard this about this module. That this module is
Yeah.
like turned for some reason.
Why isn't the map is the wrong direction?
I don't.
It's a perspective piece, so it fits on the page.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm not.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're 100% right. But then, like, the thing on the side is also
I just want to
like.
point out. Hold on.
No.
I just want to point out how like last time I made mention about this, and you were all were like, "That's not north," and I was like, "Oh, the compass rose is wrong." You're like, "Duh, you have to look at," and then I had to bring your attention back. I just want the record to show. Anyways.
Well, I want the record to show that probably definitely did happen, but
let's get the stenographer
forgot.
over here and let's read it back, okay? All right.
Get a clip of that.
I'm
chat.
pulling
Get
the VOD. I'm pulling the VOD.
I want that. Okay. So.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to post that on YouTube. I never posted. Whoops.
You see that massive wall there? You see it kind of like going along to the like cliffside over there on the left, all the way down to the ocean cliffs at the bottom. You know that those falls are pretty steep. And there's a lot of like jagged rocks at the bottom. Not something that you would be able to kind of like, let's dive in the water for some fun over here. Like these are like sheer cliffs. So that's kind of what's going on down there. So you see this massive wall, and let me bring you guys here. So you see this massive wall where you see a toll station, where it looks like, oh, why is that on the wrong? Select. Hold please.
Holding.
And then I need a brain here. Okay. So you see two guards protecting the wall. This big circle thing in the middle is the doorway in. You see it's kind of like a giant stone seal in front of a stone wall, and then affixed at the bottom you see kind of like some weird grooves that kind of help move the slide of the like slab like backwards and forwards, and that's how they kind of like open the gate. Let me get your tokens. You guys didn't put images on your tokens.
What?
Nope.
Fuge, that was your job. You always find the images for me.
That wasn't my job.
Yeah.
No, because we're streaming it, so we can't just. We gotta use the default tokens.
You don't like my elephant token?
We gotta use whatever tokens are in Roll20. I can't just like grab somebody's deviant art.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Do you guys see the names on them?
I should have drawn my own then.
I can see mine.
I need to zoom in a little more. Yeah, I can see mine. I'm just like a regular plain Joe. I look like the bathroom symbol.
Do you see his name now, Dylan?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I just need to click. Boom. There you go. So now you should both be able to see each other's name.
Yes.
Great.
Fleet Sloop?
Fleet Sloop. It's because I'm a fisherman.
Nice, I get it. That's actually kind of clever. A sloop
it's fast.
I get it. And it has a fun name. I really like that name. You're half elf, right?
Yeah.
I'm with that last name. Okay.
I don't get it at all.
Because a sloop is a ship, and a sloop is like a small sailing boat. That's like fast.
It's like a fleet of small sailing boats, and it's just a whimsical name on top of that.
I was actually thinking like fleet, like quick, like fleet foot.
Oh well, then that's like a triple pun.
With the triple. Oh man.
Jesus. Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't joke around when it comes to names, man.
Over my head.
Write a whole
Damn.
book on your name. Jesus. Okay, so you see two guards. One who seems to be kind of like behind a podium. He seems, even from this distance, to be a little more in his elder years. He has his like cap kind of like brought down as if he's like taking a nap, and he's using it to provide him shade. Whereas you see this other guard who's kind of like just patrolling backwards and forwards, kind of over here waiting for people who are trying to enter the city.
I mean, I would say I go like to approach the guards to get into the city, and ask
hold
them.
On. As you approach, he instantly kind of like stops his pacing and looks over you, and he shouts, "You there! Stop where you are and show me your identifications."
I don't have no identifications.
You have no identifications? And you're traveling with the lizard folk? Now that is mighty peculiar. What business do you have here in Saltmarsh?
You see my fish I have on my hook, or in my bag, or in my net here. I'm coming to sell.
So you're a fisherman from foreign lands with fish traveling by land. Now that sounds mighty suspicious.
Suspicious? I have fish.
You have no papers.
Have you not seen any shore fishing before?
Sure, there's plenty of shore fishing around these parts, but now I don't think all of them. They all have their identifications. The problem now, you not having your ID or your papers over here means I may deny you entry to this gate.
Suspicious.
Why would you deny us entry? We're just trying to get in and sell some fish.
Well, I'll tell you. And he kind of whispers you kind of like closer, kind of like beckoning you closer in and to a more hushed tone. Do you approach him?
Sure.
Cool.
I'm gonna make a point to like stay standing back. Like I'm just gonna stay where I'm at.
So Dylan, go ahead and give me a perception check. Okay. You notice a tattoo on his arm, but it seemed pretty generic. It's like a tattoo. Everyone has tattoos these days, right? So that's kind of, you dismiss it, but that's something you see. So he beckons you closer and he's like, "Look, I see you have some fish, and I'm a pretty hungry guy. In fact, my supervisor's in there taking a nap, and if I surprised him with some good eats, he might even promote me." And you see him kind of go like starry-eyed for a second. So he says, "If you give me your haul of fish, I'll let you and your lizard friend in the city free of charge and free of hassle, since you don't have your identifications. Which would mean we would have to tax you at 3 times the regular rate, so this is really a deal."
Sort of city doesn't let a traveler in with a merchant selling fish.
They are called tariffs these days. Times are hard. You know how it is. The king's folk keep moving in, and they keep uh, moving out into the different areas, bringing up the rates of stuff, gentrifying. You get it.
I tell you what, I'll give you the biggest fish in the bunch, but I need the rest. This is my trade. I need to sell them.
He looks at you. He's like, "Well, maybe if you grease the wheel a bit," and you see him kind of like doing like this with his fingers, kind of like
Grease in the
showing you.
wheel. I'm giving you the biggest fish in the bunch.
Um, so how loudly would you say you say? Are you like yelling at him? You would
I
say?
mean, it maybe is escalating a little bit.
Okay. So upon that, you hear the snoring inside. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make him roll for that first instead. Hold, please, because he was sleeping. Okay, so he does wake up. So you hear the snoring stops, and he looks out into kind of the mess, or he looks out into what's going on, and you see him yelling. He's like, "Jar, what are you doing? Are you trying to bribe the travelers again?" And you see this much more elderly guard kind of like step forward. He's like stumbling as he walks. You can smell the whiskey on his breath from where you're standing. And he stumbles over here, and he puts his like big, like greasy hand, like kind of like going to like shake your hand to kind of like welcome you and greet you, but he like misses and kind of like grabs the fish instead, and he's like shaking the fish a bit. And he's like, "It's a pleasure to meet you. Don't worry about Jar here." And he just kind of like lightly punches him like in the arm. He's like, he's new around here and doesn't understand how good marketing works to get good trade into the city. Now you go back in there, that hut there, Jar, and you wait till I'm done here." And then you see Jar just kind of like grumble, and he goes into the thing. He's like, "Well, my name's Hutner, and I'm the guard of the Northern Gates, the guard captain of the Northern Gates." He like hiccups every so often. And he says, "Ah, so you two must be new to town. Come. Well, we do need to tax your fees, or tax your wares into the towns, but not to the extent that Jar wants. He's a real go-getter, that one." And he just kind of like laughs off the fact that he was trying to get you to bribe him. Um, and so he's like, "Just give me one of your fish. That's all that I'll ask for. It will feed the two of us for the night." And you see him kind of like give you a big grin and smile at that.
Well met, my friend. How How about I give you 2 fish? Could you give me a little information?
Information you be seeking? Sure. What I know, I know many of good places, especially the best place for drink in town.
Ah, that's great. I mean, give us some of that information. Any strange happenings around town lately? My friend back here, Irtos, he seems to be missing some of his kinsmen.
I wave and give him
Um,
a, like, disturbingly toothy smile.
he's like, disappearing lizard folk. I've heard sailors tell tall tales of the lizard folk from their adventures at the Thirsty Goat. But outside of their fish stories, their fisherman tales, I don't put much stock in them. Half of them are cheats and liars, and the other halves are drunks. And you hear him laugh like heartily at that, and then like give a big hiccup like to punctuate it. And he's like, "Well, if you ever find your way at the Thirsty Goat, make sure you are looking for a Manistrad. A Manistrad will be the one that you uh, will want to ask more about strange happenings and other dealings. She tends to be the one who finds most people employment around town."
Hmm. Sorry, do you mind saying her name again?
Manistrad. And you can find her at the Thirsty Goat.
Manistrad.
Oh wait, sorry. I might have butchered that name of the tavern. It's the Wicker Goat. Thirsty Goat's like an actual beer. The Wicker Goat. Sponsor us. The Thirsty Goat.
Sponsor us, Thirsty Goat.
Yo, if you want the name of
that's a
this tavern
plug.
to be Thirsty Goat, then yeah.
Hey, we could change this whole thing. It could be Coke Marsh. Think about it, Coca-Cola. Right, Pepsi Marsh has a similar vibe. Right? We could talk. My people will talk to your people.
I've heard that Pepsi Marsh is just like a little too sweet, you know?
It's a little sweeter.
It's just like a little too sweet. Like, I don't know, it just kind of hangs out in the back of the throat a little bit afterwards. I don't know. It's not as good.
It's like, this game's brought to you by Amazon. Just like
Right. Just hold up an
just
Amazon
freaking
box. Just like,
product placement everywhere.
right.
Done.
Um,
Okay, but yes. So he gives you, tells you about. Is there any, for 2 fish? That's the least I can do. Happy to tell you anything else about town.
could he tell me like the best place to sell my fish?
He looks at you and he's like, the best place to sell your fish, in my opinion, would be to the chefs at the Wicker Goat. If you have a good fish, he'll give you a good price. And if anything else, he'll knock. But then he kind of like looks over. He's like, if you go to the market, they'll sell you. They'll cheat you live there. The people, they sell poor fish at discounted rates, but they tend to get the best deals in town. So I would just go directly, if you have quality wares, to the chefs themselves.
You're a good friend, sir. Hope to see you later at the Wicker Goat.
At the Wicker Goat, yes. I plan to be there after my shift. My name, and he's like, again, my name is Hutner. Feel free to, if you ever come venturing around these parts, happy to trade more stories for fish. And he gives you like a toothy smile, takes the fish, and goes back to the place. You hear Jar kind of like sigh reluctantly and start to push the slab across the grooves, opening the door into the city.
Cool.
So Dylan, you walk through without problem. Fuj, I'm assuming as you walk forward, like you kind of see that the two kind of look at you like suspiciously, and even the younger guy is kind of like scowling a bit.
Yeah, I think
Racists.
I have enough perception and insight and wisdom altogether to be like, yeah, I'm not gonna fuck this up. So I just like politely like walk through where they can like see my hands and it's nowhere near my my scimitar and just like thank you, sir. See you at the bar later. And then like fuck off.
So as you walk through, go ahead and give me a perception check as well.
Yo 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 yo. Boom. 10.
Okay.
You
you kind of see as you see the younger guard as he kind of like as you're walking through the gates, he's still mean mugging you, but you see the older one as he looks at you, he's waving with like a big like hearty smile, and you also see a tattoo like at the bottom of his wrist, but again you see it from afar and don't think much of it. But cool. So, you guys make it through that first gate. So you guys here. Let me get you a token to indicate where the party is.
Is it alright if I go to the bathroom real quick?
Yeah.
Thanks. I'll be right back.
Party token.
Hold on, yeah, because this is taking like 20 years to load. Okay, I don't know. Okay, screw it. I'm just going to grab a random token and put that. Well, I guess we're still waiting for Dylan.
I believe a member of chat would like us to beat the guards.
Kill the gods!
Somebody wasn't watching the first 20 minutes of the show.
I'm just gonna put... We're gonna,
Only winners
so
get
fun.
bathroom
There's a bunch
breaks.
of free assets, like soldiers and stuff like that are pretty tight.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of pretty interesting free assets.
Yeah, so if anybody's never used Roll20 before, Roll20 is an amazing website who is more than welcome to sponsor us. But they also do their own shows, so that's probably never going to happen. But it's an amazing website where you can play all sorts of like role-playing games, also like card games and like a few other kinds of games. If you're a little clever with the systems, primarily role-playing games are the easiest things to do on here. They have a ton of modules that you can buy that are developed like by the publishers and like made by Roll20 from material from the publishers. I've personally run like Pathfinder plenty of times on here. I've run oh gosh, what all have we played? We've played like a lot of role-playing games.
Agent Green, that one was really fun. The Call of Cthulhu.
Good. Call of Cthulhu. We played a bunch of Powered by the Apocalypse games. Sprawl,
Dungeon World, yeah.
Sprawl, Dungeon World. Dungeon World is so good.
We did a little Shadowrun.
Oh yeah, Shadowrun. That was
a whole.
That was a whole thing.
Map back. Run.
What's up?
Talking about Shadowrun.
Shadowrun.
What's that?
An amazing game that's like way more complicated than it needs to be.
Sounds familiar. Is it kind of like a?
Oh, we've talked about it.
Top-down RPD. Yeah. Oh, okay.
There is one actually, which is I think what you're thinking of. It's on Steam, but there's an actual role-playing game that it's based on, and it's a hot mess. It is a hot mess, but it is very fun if you like doing math.
I love doing math. What are you talking about?
Oh, you might actually like Shadowrun.
Yeah, math is my jam.
Have you ever heard of floating dice? Well, then you'll love Shadowrun.
Yeah, exploding dice. That has that. That's funny. Oh man. The game's a shit show, and I love it.
So you guys made it through the gate. So here on the map, I put a little tent icon to signify. I'll make it a little bigger so it doesn't get lost.
The tent icon blends in really well with the rest of the town.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I might change that.
You can also make it real small and then add like an aura to it.
Oh yeah, that one works.
Smart.
Is that like a guy falling down a hill?
It's a dude sleeping.
That's cool
it's called
too.
like Sleeping Man, but I'm gonna put the aura on it.
He's definitely just sleeping. I promise.
Kind of looks like he's falling.
It's okay, chat. Don't worry. He's just sleeping.
He's just sleeping. No more about it.
There's no murder hoboing. Well. That's definitely not where Dylan was just now.
I was totally right there.
He's mad suspicious. No papers? How do you not have papers?
Yeah, how does he not have papers? That's super sus.
Anyways, so there you guys are. You are approaching. Is there anything you two would like to say to each other now that you're in the city?
We made it past them guards. Ah, no.
Wait, what?
I mean, I think it sounds pretty clear. Like we should go to the what was it? The Wicker Goat.
Yes, I'm not sure we have any other leads, so.
Well, come with me, my friend. Where is the Wicker Goat? Oh, maybe we should have asked the guards that.
We could have. We'll just say he tells you that, or he told you that it was like the Wicker Goat would have been, just follow down the road and it will be your second right, first house on this. Your second right, first house.
You sure you don't want to awkwardly have a scene where we walk back through the door and be like, hey. Can I get directions?
By the way, could you mark this on my map, perhaps? Like,
can you mark this on the map that I don't have? Can you just like draw a map in the dirt for me? Oh man. Okay, so yeah, let's head over there.
Cool. So as you approach the like crossway, your first intersection. Wait, that didn't populate anything. Wait, what?
What? Is it on the wrong layer?
Wait, I took you to the wrong place. So you approach, so you see a crossroad here.
Look at these fancy pantses with their fucking actual tokens.
And their faces on their tokens.
Hold on. Let me get your tokens too.
So well, I'm jealous.
Yeah, you guys have like shitty tokens.
I'll have to. We'll go in after, and I'll enable a bunch of stuff to let us have like actual tokens.
So you guys come across a building. You see a building over here too. You just see it's a little further off, but in front of this building as you're approaching, you see two pairs of people. So this grouping here and this grouping of people here as well. You see they are chained together. You see two of them who look pretty big, brooding, and malicious. You see one who has kind of like a crazed look in her eye, and looking like pretty paranoid and squirrely. And then you have one on the far end who looks pretty drunk. Like he just looks like he needs to be put in like timeout for like he's like belligerently drunk. Leading this group of miscreants, you see there is a younger guard. He is kind of portly, so he's a bigger fellow. He kind of looks a little bumbly to a certain point, and he's kind of like leading this grouping of people. You see at both sides of him, there are two kind of like bigger dudes who are in shackles as well. They are clearly kind of like, given by the number of tattoos, like body tattoos that they have like rocking, that they look like pirates. Or Dylan, go ahead and give me a history roll.
History.
Yeah, let's see if you
History
know
of fish.
of
Fistory, if you will.
So you would
It was a
know
19.
that the tattoos on these two specifically indicate that they are rather high-ranking members of a kind of like a terrorist organization um, that is called. I want to say it's the Scarlet Brotherhood, but let me triple check that. I want to make sure I'm right about that. Yeah, Scarlet Brotherhood. So you would identify them as kind of key figures within that faction. You would have known from your exchanging stories with people at taverns that uh, these people, there was a huge bounty on these people, and that they were recently brought in by a rather striking loyalist by the name of Scarin Wave Chaser. Uh, so
That's a
you
fucking
you would
name.
yes. So remember Scarin. Um, so Scarin was a pretty big bounty hunter. He managed to um, bring in the people. You would know from those same fish stories that you heard in the tavern that like Scarin is a bad dude. Like not a bad dude in like I'm evil, but like
Bad like The
you don't
Rock.
mess with Scarin, dude. Like
Like
yeah, like
Shaq?
he's a
Or
he. Well,
Shaft,
so
not
he
Shaq. What the fuck?
well so he's
Shit.
fit, but like
Most of those
he's
letters
like
were correct.
John Wick, like bad dude.
Mm,
Like
Oh, the Boogeyman.
he'll fuck your day
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
Like yeah, he's the boogeyman kind of bounty hunter in town. So he brought in these high-ranking members. So that's the thing. So you see, they're kind of being led into the jail after kind of having some time out. And as Taft, this young deputy, walks forward. And is there anything you guys want to do at this point? Like you're kind of well. Let me explain the scene first, I guess. So as he walks forward, you see that the two pirate-looking people who are shackled to other kind of random criminals look at each other with a knowing glance, and you see that this one on the right motions forward and tries to grab this guy. And that is what he's going to do.
Wait, sorry,
And
who's
he's
grabbing
going to
who?
So this one guy who's shackled at the feet, like, is going to try to jump the deputy. And so he's going to go to grab him. He succeeds. While doing so, this guy is going to see if he can maintain his balance. But since he's drunk, he has disadvantage and he falls to the ground. So basically, like, the scene is I'm just gonna put that on the ground for now. The dude like tries to jump this guy, and as he's jumping him, the dude next to him is like pulled on the chain and just starts falling to the floor, clamoring. But he still manages to hold on to the deputy. As the dude like falls, as his like the drunk guy falls to the ground. The assailant also falls to the ground with the deputy. So the three of them are now prone. However, the deputy is in this dude's like grasp. Um, what do you guys do? Like, are you guys going to walk past the scene, or are you going to try to assist them? You have no like need to intervene, but I mean it's up to you if you'd like to.
I mean, I'd probably be inclined to assist the deputy. He didn't seem like he'd done nothing wrong, other than just be incompetent.
I
do you think, Fuge?
have no strong opinion either way, but ingratiating myself with the local constabulary does seem to
Yeah,
be a
I think that's good.
pretty
I say we
strong,
help him out
pretty strong play.
because it might help us find out what's happening with Fuge's people.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. So I think we share that like PCI language.
Yeah,
Like we just glance at each other. We're just like, yeah, we're gonna get
yeah.
involved. All right.
Do this.
Cool. Go ahead and let's roll initiative. But let me put the turn order thing up there.
Now let me see how my person
So make sure you click your token.
Oh no, I did the thing! Oh my god.
Oh my god.
There we go. It turned out way better.
You get a 7 because you yell at people for fucking
up. I don't want it.
Hold on.
I click my token and then I click initiative. That's right.
No. I just was like really firm about it one time and then everybody else yelled at everybody else for it.
Where is initiative at?
Top center.
Ah, there we go. Did it work? Why didn't it attach it? Do I have to click one of the circles?
Oh my god, did you click your token, bro?
Yeah.
And you clicked your token?
Yeah.
And then
Do
you click the
have to click the circle or something?
No.
Why is it?
So like, you just like click on the token.
I am clicked on the token.
Like right here. Like you got like the.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm like. Do I have to click into like the green circle or something?
Huh? No. You just click on the token and then you click the initiative button.
That's weird. Oh, so it redid it for 6 now. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, whatever.
Whoa.
I don't know why it didn't happen the first time. Anyway.
Couldn't tell you.
What ifs? So, do you mind going through the people one more time, Muffin? Like, as maybe, like, I don't know if you can you just explain it left to right on the group in front of us?
Can you see the
Pirate
names?
1 and Pirate 2? Yeah.
Add them in, yeah. Because they haven't identified themselves, otherwise you'd actually see a name.
Sure.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But just for the sake of combat announcements and things like that, so we all know.
Gotcha.
But
okay, I gotcha.
So basically, the one on the left you see looks like to be a pretty normal lady outside of like the dark expression in her eyes and on her face. She's clearly guilty of whatever she's done. And now she's here. So that's kind of what you see from her.
Well, that's not my place
and
to
this
judge.
guy is drunk. But she's seeking there's justice being served, right? So then you see one dude who is a very strong member of the Scarlet Brotherhood. You don't know who he is exactly, but you know from the tattoos on his body that he's clearly someone of stature in the organization. Like, because the tattoos would indicate like where they are in the order. The dude on the right who's currently grappling Deputy Taft he would have been like kind of like a staff sergeant or sergeant to this dude who's like a much higher ranking person. But he's still also well ranked in his own right. And then next to him, you would like he's just like a town drunk. Like he looks homeless and just kind of like vomit on his like body already. He can hardly stand straight.
Sweater already.
Yeah,
is it by chance spaghetti
all over the place?
Damn, dude, that's rough.
So that's oh wait, I get it. Why didn't these things save? Oh my god, I only kind of remember some of these. Taff had like a enter, and then Lady. What did Lady have? I think Lady had the 18. Taff had the 15. I remember one of them had crazy initiative. Okay, anyways. And then Z2A. No, damn it. Descending. Cool. So, great. So, Lady over here, she whispers over to this pirate over here. And then she motions. So she goes 5, 10, 15. And he comes shackling along, and that is her turn. Boom. Taft.
Would that be his turn too?
No, because he's being pulled, and because I'm not going to explain the mechanics of it. Okay. That's for you to figure out. So Taft, he is currently being grappled, so he is going to try to break free. He fails. So he's rolling on the ground while this guy is like trying to like strangle him, and he just can't break out of the grasp. He kind of like in a desperate plea yells out, "Help! Help someone! They're breaking free!" So you hear that yell, and that's all Taft gets to do. Pirate 1 is once again is also going to now shout a little louder, not so much as a whisper, and say like, "You stupid girl, we need to move." And then he goes 5, 10, 15, and she'll come in. So he's making a break for it as well, and she's being dragged along. Iratos, your turn.
Okay, I am very immediately realizing that none of my spells are useful unless I want to murder these people, which I'm not prepared to escalate to just yet. So I am going to.
I have create sun on them.
Right. Or is that? All right, so move my 30, and then they should both be in range. I am going to Thorn Whip Pirate 1 to try to drag him over to me.
Okay. Go ahead and.
Bloop, bloop.
Okay, so that hits. And then you get to pull him 5 feet. Is that how?
10 feet closer.
10 feet.
Yeah.
10 feet closer. Okay, so.
I'm kind of assuming that that's going to drag her since they're connected.
Yeah. So you would want him to be kind of like moved over here.
Yeah, either that one or the one to the right. I think they both make sense. Either way.
Here. Cool.
Yeah, either way.
Next save. And she fails, so she goes prone.
Yes.
As you pull him, and as you like just yank him back, she was having like a forward momentum, but totally gets like yo-yoed back and just like falls on her back like right into the ground. You hear a groan from her, as you kind of like do that, and then yes, roll damage. So hold on, and that's Pirate 1, correct? Dun-dun. And you guys don't see their health bars. That's right?
Correct.
That's intentional. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
And you said that's 5 damage. Okay. Great. So you pull him. You see that the thorns that you wrapped around his like body, kind of like as you pulled him, cut into him quite a bit. He's still good for all intents and purposes, but definitely cut up quite a bit from that whip.
Okay.
Cool. That's your movement. That's your stuff. That's it for your turn, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Draven, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna move this way.
Okay.
Here. And then I will fire an arrow over at this Pirate 2 here.
Go ahead and fire away.
Okay.
Far away, far away.
What the heck? Oh.
That's a song. Hold on.
No, that's
I
fine.
know. I'm just playing.
Prone. Am I wrong in that? He gets the advantage because he's prone, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because he's on the ground. I can't remember if that's a 3.5 roll or if that's a 5e roll. Oh, well, you hit either way. So go ahead and roll damage on that one. Let's just get that out of the way. Okay. So you
That is correct.
take aim. You fire a. That is correct. He would get advantage. Just
disadvantage.
So I know. Okay, great. So you fire the arrow. It hits like as this guy is rolling on the ground, right? Like you could have almost smacked this other dude, but you nailed this guy like clean in the back. You hear a very audible kind of like as like blood kind of like gets coughed up out of his mouth to some degree. You dealt a pretty. He's still standing, but he's definitely likely going to release his grip on this dude soon. Especially because it's his turn next.
He's standing.
He's on the ground. He was on the ground before, and he's still on the ground now with an arrow just like right next to his kidney. It's clear he has some pretty severe internal bleeding, as he just coughed up some blood.
Ooh, that's not good.
But so you did quite some damage on that one. Did I have to do math? Cool. Why isn't that doing the thing right? Basics. Dupe. Great. Cool. So this guy. So that's your turn, right?
Yeah.
Great. So this guy is going to kind of like let go of of Taft, Deputy Taft on the ground here. And he's going to kind of like stand up and stagger kind of in place, being lumbered by this drunken anchor at his heels. He places a hand to his back and sees the blood on his hands as he stares at you with pure rage in his eyes. He can't really do anything else from that, but he's now standing. He's no longer prone, and he's very, very angry. The drunk, he's just going to basically pirate, and in his rage, he's going to kick the drunk and be like, "Get up, you fool! Like, you're nothing but dead weight to me. I should slit your throat where you stand." And then he like hurriedly gets up to his feet, and is just kind of like towering next to this guy. But that's his turn. So back to the lady. She is going to once more stand up as well, as Pirate 1 screams out similar threats to her if she doesn't stand. And she gets to her feet post haste, but can't really do anything outside of that. Then it's Deputy Taft. So Taft is going to stand up. Yes, because this dude released the grip on him. He's going to stand up, and then he's going to swing his cudgel towards Pirate 2. And he's going to hit. Nice. Cool. So he's going to, as he stands up, and this guy like is in a blind rage staring at you. He gets cracked over the head with a cudgel, and with a sickening crunch collapses to his feet, or to his like falls limp on the ground. As the it's clear to see he has like the blood that's kind of like dripping from that wound. He's not dead. I mean, he might die from the arrow that you shot within like into his kidney or close to his kidney, but the cudgel blow was meant to be non-lethal. Despite it nailing him like square on the head, like, you know, that would do several damage to most other people. He rolled a crit to save. So Pirate 2 is now unconscious and on the ground. And that was Taft. Pirate 1, after seeing Pirate 2 going down, knows when he is actually, hold on. Yeah, he's going to know that he is bested, and he's going to surrender. He puts his hands up and says, I was just trying to make a clean break from an advantageous position. You can understand. And he looks at you, Iratos, with like a toothy smile with like several gold teeth in it, as he kind of raises his hands after you've like thorn whipped him, right?
Oh, okay, that's the pirate that I thorn whipped. Okay.
Yeah. So he's like, I know when I've been bested. I've been trying to just make a clean break, but I know when enough's enough. He puts his hands up and looks at you.
Smart decision. There's far worse that could have happened to you.
He looks over to his bleeding pirate friend, and he says, yes, I could have several arrows in me by now, or even worse, more thorns, as he kind of like pulls a thorn from your whip from his like side, and like throws it onto the ground. Cool. So you accept his surrender. The drunk surrenders. So Iritos, it would be your turn in the initiative order. It's
So
technically
is the lady...
only the pirates and the drunk have surrendered.
Oh, okay. So the lady's still like...
She's bugging. She's like trying to still like make a break for it.
Okay. How to play this? This might be a bad idea, but we're gonna do this. I'm gonna come up here. Is she still like prone on the ground?
No, she would be standing at this point.
Okay. Okay, well if she's standing then I'm not gonna do that. I will go over here and I want to ready an action to thorn whip her back to me if she tries to run.
Okay.
And
so
I'll just tell her I would suggest you well, actually, no, this is perfect. I have -1 for my charisma modifier. I would suggest you don't run. That's it.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. That's more a persuading play. You're not really intimidated. Are you trying to be like menacing while you do it? Like I'll give you persuasion or intimidation.
I'm trying to be intimidating, but like honestly, they're both bad.
Go ahead and give me intimidate. Okay, yeah.
That is a 1.
So you say it like literally how you said it just then. And so she looks at you. She looks at the whip, and on her turn, she's going to make a break for it. But in the meantime, it is Drevin Fleetsloop's turn to do something.
Fleetsloop. Okay, hang on. Let me see.
I mean, I told her not to resist. I don't know. Don't resist the
rest. You did tell her
rest.
not to resist, but she didn't buy it. She doesn't think you're going to smack a lady.
I told her not to resist the rest. Now she's gonna get tased.
I think I'm gonna move over like in front of her to like kind of block her way, and I think I'm gonna take the same like route that
I mean, you could try to restrain her right now since you're like in melee distance.
Yeah, I'll stop her and kind of grab her and be like, I do believe you should stop running. Your situation is not advantageous to yourself here.
Go ahead and give me an opposing strength check.
Okay, that's not good.
Fight her with the strength of your heart.
You need to beat a 5, Dylan. That's all you gotta beat.
Yo, we are not strong boys,
not a saving throw, right? I just do the strength?
Yeah, strength.
Okay.
Yep, ooh. So you grapple her, and she is effectively restrained. You see the big burly pirate next to you who's with small cuts coming from his sides. He looks at you and you see that he is clear, like actually going peacefully. He bears you no ill will. You know, he just kind of got caught in a botch trying to escape, right?
I respect that.
Yeah, so he's taking it in stride. So as you kind of grapple this person, or restrain this person rather, you see out the front door pops the jailer Cardock Stonehorn. You see him like kick open the door, look instantly at the disheveled Taft, and you hear him say, "Deputy, you are more useless than tits on a hog, I swear to God." And he sees that there's one pirate who's bleeding on the floor, another one from the sides drunk who's pissed himself, and you restraining. Like, he just sees this whole scene in front of him.
Chaos.
And is just like, what in the hell
What
is happening?
incarnation?
What in tarnation's happening in my backwater town? And so he kind of looks at all of you and he says, "Oh my goodness, this as much as I love the dwarven mining company in town, it's been nothing but riffraff ever since they moved in." And then you kind of see him like shake his head, and he says, "Well, thank you to Iratos and to Drevin." He kind of like looks at the two of you, says like, clearly y'all two ain't from around here, but that's okay because you guys helped us out. You know, if you're ever in trouble, just remember to call Cardock Stonehorn, the village jailer. So you made a friend out of him. He looks at you and he's like, thank you. If you could just help me load these guys inside, it'd be much appreciated.
Village jailer.
Sure thing, sir.
Cool.
Would you be interested in buying any fish, by the way?
Reputation friendly.
He looks at you. He's like, I'm not big on foreigner fish, but as I'm vegan, but
tell me in the module that it says that he's vegan.
We have a vegan jailer. Why not? Inclusion.
No, I like it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, just remember he doesn't like fish. Not a pescatarian. Anyways, so he kind of you drop the people off, and as you do, he says, you know what? Though I can't give you the bounty for these guys, as they've been taken by Saren, I can give you a little compensation for covering for my deputy there. I think he would have been in a real pickle had you guys not been there to help him out. And he gives each of you 10 gold, kind of as a reward for helping this little skirmish.
Dope.
A whole 10 gold?
I'm rich now. I don't even need to sell this fish anymore. I can just eat it.
Yo, fuck that fish, man. We don't need that fish. What are you gonna sell that fish for? Like a couple silver each?
I don't even know.
Man, we're rich now.
What's the going rate around here?
We're bounty hunters now. We're cops, basically. Anyways, so as he slams the cell shut with the bodies inside, you see that he starts to kind of like take the one pirate who is like unconscious and like bleeding. Like he puts him on a table and he starts to like crudely sew up the wounds and make sure that this guy doesn't die. Like, this guy, you know, he does things by the book and to the book. Even though this guy got beat up in a brawl, like, he's not gonna let him die because he's still his prisoner. If that tells you anything about this guy. So he's tending to the wound, and he looks over at you, Iratos, and says, not too many lizard folk come around in the Saltmarsh these days. I remember a time when they were here all the time, but that was really before the dwarven mining company moved in.
Yes, I understand that we're not all that welcome these days.
He's like, well, don't get the wrong idea. It's not that you aren't welcome. It's that folk here are afraid of you. See, a lot of villagers have been going missing lately, and fishermen think it's all these lizard folk out in the outskirts.
Well, I suppose the irony is, the reason I'm here is that my people have gone missing.
Wait, you have lizard folk gone missing too? I could have swore I was about ready to set up bounties for you guys, but if your folk are missing, that's kind of crazy. So that means something must be going on.
That's the thing. I'm a bit of a hermit. I don't get to the village very often. Sometimes they move and forget to tell me, and I have to track them down, and I like to stay on the outskirts. I don't particularly... I have my reasons, but one day I came to check and make sure that their camp was still there and they hadn't left, and all of their things were there. The camp was there, but they were all gone.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, I'll tell you what. If you get to the bottom of it, you do let me know, cause I have some open bounties for some missing folk around town who, if we can find them, you can make a pretty penny. Um, and otherwise, I might even think about teaming up with that Scarin fella. He's quite the bounty hunter, some say. Managed to find these fine fellas. And he points to the pirates. One of them scoffs at the name of Scarin. And then you see, as he scoffs, Kardak kind of like bangs on the bars a bit and says, "Well, what is it, Anders? Are you mad that your better got you sold down the river?" And then you see that the one pirate, so that would have been Pirate One. His name is Anders Solomar. Anders kind of like peeks out and he looks at Kardak and he says, "You tell Scarin the next time you see him that the next time I see him, he won't see me coming because I'ma kill him." And then you see Kardak just laughing. He's like, "That doesn't even make sense. Now you hush up. Now I'm talking to our guest." And you see like Anders just kind of sulk in the corner next to the crazy lady and the drunk who is now vomiting in the corner from the kerfuffle. Cool. So that's the kind of scene in front of you. Is there anything else you wanted to ask the jailer? Either of you?
No,
Did you?
I think I'm pretty satisfied.
Right? Yeah. What? So he gave us 10 gold, pointed us to like maybe Scarin.
Kind of gave us a little more. Gave us a little more information about that people have been going missing, maybe, or there's people. Right, there's bounties because people have been going missing, right?
So there are two types of bounties. There's the missing persons, like if you find this person, like we want them alive, not like a dead or alive kind of thing. And then there are the ones like looking for like people that they think might be behind it,
Right.
that they want to ask questions and stuff. So a little both.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. I guess we could ask him like the same question we would ask the original guard. Just where's the best place to find some information around here? And I have a feeling he's going to say the same thing, though.
Actually, so you ask him for information, and he hold on, I have to find it really quick. Sorry, carousing. Yes. So he says
table.
that. Wait, why can't I find it? There's like a whole. Oh, here it is. Okay. He actually tells you that the place you want to go to for information, and he kind of does it with like a shifty eye. He says if you want to know the real information around here, you need to go to the Empty Net. Now, this one's out near the docks. It ain't much of a savory locale, but you'll definitely find your information for the right price. Just not too many folk go in there looking for savory business, if you understand what I'm saying.
What is the Empty Net?
It would be a tavern.
Oh, okay.
A tavern for the dredges of society, of Saltmarsh. The less than savory folk and characters.
Super sus tavern.
Super sus.
But for the right price, you can find the right people. However, and then he kind of looks to the side, like back and forward. He's like, you want to be careful though. You shouldn't show them too much coin, elsewise you give them the wrong impression, and that you're an easy mark. But so that's kind of the advice he gives you about the Empty Net. And then no, yep, that's all the things they ask or they say. He says.
Okay. Well, where do you want to go next, Fuge? the what was it called?
So it seems like
goat.
Yeah, the wicker goat or the empty nest are the two like pubs that we have like leads on. What was the? Okay, so the empty nest's like a super sus tavern with like shady people. What was the wicker goat?
I think
he
it
said
just
talk to
seemed
Manitrad.
Yeah, it seemed more like maybe it's more a tavern on the up and up where you just find rumors around town, whereas the Wicker Goat might be where we find more shady stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just for kind of like orientation, because he would have kind of given you directions to both or marked on your map. So the Wicker Goat would be this building right here.
Where's
Sorry, one more time.
again?
So you guys were right here at the deputy's place, right?
Uh-huh.
The Wicker Goat would just be over here. So it's right across the street.
Gotcha.
Okay.
The empty net would be by the docks over here on the kind of like southern or the western part of the docks.
Gotcha.
The western part. I hate this map.
No. I have to look at the compass rose every time.
Well, I guess if we're right here, we might as well.
Yeah,
we might as well just pop our heads in the Wicker Goat first and see what they got.
So as you guys are walking towards the Wicker Goat, in front of the tavern, yeah, like you guys leave the jailer's hut and start walking towards the goat. Immediately you start to hear kind of like festivities, like a loud clamoring of people inside. You hear music being played on accordions. There even sounds like someone's singing. Maybe they're screaming. You can't really tell, but a fun time's happening at the Wicker Goat. Out of the front door pours a pair of drunk dwarves. One with a shovel, the other a pickaxe. They kind of pass by you speaking in Dwarven, kind of to their own devices, totally like ignoring you. Like walking past you and heading down south down this road. So that's where you see a bunch of dwarves going. Outside of that, you see a bunch of other travelers, fishermen. You see some savory characters, some unsavory characters, some in hooded cloaks, and things like that at the goat. Go ahead and give me both of you give me perception when you're, or I'm assuming you're walking inside the goat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a sentence.
It is a 24.
But go ahead and give me perception. Please don't walk inside the goat. That's pretty rude. But
the goat does not care for it.
So Dylan, you walk in and just see a bar full of people.
People.
Dylan literally walks into a bar.
Yeah, walk into a bar. You see people are like trading fish in the corner, and that kind of catches your eye. But outside of that, it looks like a bar. Iratos, what you see specifically is one, it appears like everyone and their mom has a tattoo. Like it's kind of strange that everyone does. That's one thing you notice. The other thing you notice is that it's very dwarf heavy here. There's a lot of dwarves, a lot of the town guards here. You see kind of like that's just seems to be the demo. And then kind of like outside of that, you do see like, the other hodgepodge of like professions and villagers who would be just like at the goat. You do see some hooded characters. You see that these presumably humans, maybe they're elves, is hard to really see at your distance and where they are at the table, and kind of like where they're all the stuff. But you do notice that one of them has a very familiar tattoo that you saw kind of earlier on the more aggressive guard. But you just kind of see it for a brief second as the hooded figure pulls his thing of mead and takes a sip and then like goes into a hearty laugh talking to the others at the table.
Okay. So sorry, you said everybody or just this one dude has that same tat?
You notice the
everybody.
tattoo specifically on the hooded person,
Mm-hmm.
that the same type of tattoo, but you see everyone has tattoos.
Okay. Okay. So everybody's got one, but they appear to be like different ones. But
Yeah,
like
like
this
for
guy's got
whatever
the same one as
reason,
that dude.
these seem strangely distinct.
Okay. So, let me get Dylan. let, let me get a vibe check on this dude. Like, is he seeming like he needs to be like he's like trying to be by himself?
Give me an insight roll.
I want to check his vibe at a 15.
So you see that like he's at the table with a party of about 3 others, so there's 4 in total. He's the only
Oh,
one in the hood.
uh-huh.
And they seem to kind of just be blowing off steam as a group of friends. And really outside of like you probably wouldn't have thought anything about that tattoo, but it was like strangely distinct to the other one.
So it has Drevin like run off to the other fishmongers, or are you still like right next to me?
I would say let's say I ran off to the fishmongers because I didn't hear a lot of what you just said. So
cool. Yeah. So
that's fine. It's all just stuff I observed. So I'll
okay.
So I'm gonna be like, oh, let me pull the sides off. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this guy. I'm gonna like take stock of the situation. Like, okay, I want to know more. I want to know more about like what this whole tattoo thing is. But I am smart enough to know that I'm really bad about getting information out of people. Like, that's probably not my play. Um, so I think I'm gonna like I'll say to Drevin, um, noticing the tattoo on the hooded one over there is the same as the guard. Do you know anything about these tattoos? Everyone seems to have them. Some sort of tribal marker, perhaps?
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can I roll like a history check or something, or a local history check? Because
yeah,
I don't
go ahead
know
and
if
give
I
me.
know anything about these things.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a history check on those. Yeah.
Or insight, maybe? I don't know.
History. It would be history. Yeah, you don't have a recollection of kind of like what that tattoo is or what it would mean. But there's also to say that like it's not a common one either, right? It wouldn't be like that means I'm dad, right? It doesn't mean I heart mom. Like it is something of significance, but you don't know what that significance is.
Okay. So it's
Does
not
it match
like
any of...
it's not like the like broken like arrow tattoo or
Yeah,
like whatever.
no, it's not just
like,
like a simple like
like
I heart mom
the
kind of thing.
cheesy shit
It would be.
like okay.
Was it any of the similar tattoos to the pirates we just encountered at the jail?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
Oops. I clicked Microsoft Edge, so that's going to slow everything down for a second.
Well, thanks, Bill Gates.
Looks like it gave you a Microsoft Edge on your roll. Coca-Cola sponsor me.
Oh my god.
The Wicker Go brought to you by Microsoft.
So
17?
17. Unless it's at
17. Oh, sorry.
Disadvantage.
So you would know that it is a similar tattoo style. And it is a pretty unique style because it's not like a traditional or like a tribal kind of like print. It seems to be some sort of signifier of sorts. But yeah, you wouldn't know, but what do you know about tattoos, right? That's kind of you know more about fish than you do tattoos, but you know that's kind of similar-ish. They're both red.
Wait,
Okay.
fish and tattoos?
I know more about fish than tattoos, is what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I
Because
know.
I'm
but,
a fisherman.
yeah, but they're both red. So
Fish.
yeah. The fish and the. Anyway, it was a bad joke.
Oh.
So
How dare you? How dare you?
I prefer whitefish, but that's just me.
Damn. Bluefish? Two fish, you fish?
Yeah. Salmon's too fishy for me. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it. It's too fishy for me.
Too fishy.
So yeah.
Cool, yeah. So that's just kind of going on over there. Are you guys trying to get lodgings for the night? Are you guys trying to get food, more information? Like, what are you doing
Yeah.
at the goat?
I think we should try and link up with Manistrad.
Ah, yes, you're trying to find Manistrad.
Yeah, just to see if we can talk to her about anything. Right? It's a girl, right?
Yes, Manistrad would be a girl. Cool. So, you kind of, I'm assuming you ask around to like the patrons or the barkeep of, do you know Manistrad or something like that?
Yeah.
So you go around, do that. The barkeep looks at you. It's like, Manistrad, eh? And you see he's kind of like a burly brick wall of a human cleaning a cup. And he's just like, Manistrad, yeah, she usually hangs out over there with the other mining dwarves. And he points to kind of like a corner. You see a bunch of dwarves around a half elf who seem to all be letting off steam. Many of them seem to be kind of like coal dusted, like have like a day of working in the mines look to them. However, you see Manistrad seems to be the most cared. She has she's definitely the cleanliest, and she's kind of sitting along with this table of dwarves.
Is it dwarves or half elves?
She's a half elf. The rest are dwarves.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Cool. Well,
so it's a Snow White situation. Got it.
I guess we buy a few drinks and go over to the table, right?
Cool.
I'm not good with people.
Yeah.
You take the lead. I'll carry
I say
things.
we strike up a conversation with her and ask her if she knows any happenings about town, since we're new in town, you know?
Yeah, so you find Manistrad. She sees you with your drinks, and kind of scoffs. One of the dwarves at the table actually kind of like pipes up, taking your drinks and says, "At least you guys have the sense to at least bring bribes to the table." Takes the drinks and you see he like downs one, hands another one, passes it along to a different dwarf, and then everyone's kind of like drinking, and they accept your company without much, like, they bust your balls a bit, but they let you sit at the table. So as you sit down, Manistrad kind of leers at you, kind of like with her fingers crossed, looking at you. And she looks at you and she says, "There's only one reason why people come to see Manistrad, and that's because Manistrad provides the work for those who cannot find it themselves. So, what is it that Manistrad can do for you?" And yes, she's talking about herself in the third person.
Fantastic.
I like her already, sort of, but not really. Anyway, I'll say that what's his name, Hutner, told us to come by here if we wanted to learn anything more about what's been going on around town, and perhaps I allude to more of if we can find out any more information about why Irtos's tribe has gone missing.
She looks at you and she's like, "Ah, my. Ale is one thing, but you are seeking information. And now tell me, what is it that you can do for Manistrad?"
Well, what's the price of the information we're looking for?
The price for the information of going around town perhaps isn't the right question. She kind of looks at you with like a knowing grin, but she sighs and says, "Well, I do have need for some muscle to take care of a very problematic group of individuals protesting my mines. They are quite troublesome and have been causing a lot of damage to the different wares of the king, um, of the king.
And what group might this be?
She kind of frowns and she's like, "Well, you see, if we knew that, it'd be much easier to send muscle." And she clearly is indicating assassins. But however, these ones are operating at night and with great care. Some days we find our wares entirely missing, others they're just trashed. I would love for you guys to be able to help me out with that little problem. If you can, then Manistrad will be quite the patron for your adventures. Um, and she gives you kind of a grin at that.
Sounds like you need some information before we can do the job.
Well, if you put it that way, I do know where they like to attack most. And it is right outside of the mines at the Eliander's house. Just west of the mines. You can find it as a massive blue building on the western edge of town. Um, we like to store a lot of our wares there at Eliander's, and that's where they've been destroying all of our stuff.
How do you spell
Yeah. So,
Eleanders?
Elianders, or Eliander, and then apostrophe s.
Eleanders.
She looks
Yeah,
at
it's like
you
a
and
storage
says,
warehouse.
so it's actually Eliander's house.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, oh.
Eli- she looks at you and says, I would suggest go finding him and discussing more about the happenings at his wares. He just gives me the reports, and you know how things are. They write numbers. I have to talk about loss of gold. My neck, you get it. But now, if you go to Eleander, he's quite the eccentric. But outside of that, he should be able to help you with this little task. Um, and then she kind of like looks at you a little bit like more seriously and more sternly, and she says, "But do remember, the deals with Manistrad mean you must complete up to your word. If you do not complete this task for me, then you will no longer receive any help from Manistrad or other of her partners. Is that clear?" And she says that to you guys like very sternly.
Okay, so you said exactly to our word then. Well, just to be clear then, what specifically would you like us to do?
Specifically, I would like their heads on a pike in front of the mines. But I guess I will do with their corpses or whatever you deem necessary as proof of purchase of muscle. You guys are the experts. I'll leave it in your very capable hands.
Very well. I have one more question. Well, two more questions. One, um, if we do this for you, I would like one additional thing. I would like to know if you know anything about the a missing tribe of lizard folk.
Missing tribe of lizard folk. Manistrad knows nothing of that. However, I do know many townsfolk have been going missing, especially once they venture beyond the gates and towards the deltas of the Kingfisher River to the north. Oh, many folk have indeed gone missing. Many good business partners at that. But outside of that, I know not much about the lizard folk outside of the tales fishermen tell. However, I don't truly put much stock in that because they also believe in haunted buildings off in the distance and scary sirens of all things. The fools. She takes a sip of her mead.
Hmm. Well, perhaps then I need to speak to the fishermen about their fish tales.
Oh, I don't suggest it. And she looks at your fisherman buddy, and she says, "I'm sure that that one has enough tall tales to last a lifetime," and takes another sip.
I like this character. I like her. She's calling Drevin out on his shit already.
Remind me, did I ever tell you about the ghost fish who's been following me around for the last 10 years?
Get up and walk off.
If you haven't told me that one, another one's told me about a ghost fish that hunts him at a northern mansion. But those are all tall tales. As she kind of just like waves it off dismissively. Cool.
Nice.
That is so she kind of dismisses you from the table with your task to go to Eleander's. However, it is late in the evening already at in the world of D&D. So it may be wise to seek lodging, or you could go directly to Eleander's and kind of see how that plays out.
There's fishing and logging here? Wow. Industrious.
Yeah. Or we could go check out the other tavern, right? The one by the docks.
Yeah, you could go there.
What do you think?
So Super Sus Tavern seems like it would probably be better to check out like later, like under the cover of night. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, it is night, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's about to be night.
Oh, it's about to be
That's what I'm
night.
saying. It might be the time. It might be the time.
So it's like the sun setting. It'd be like 8 o'clock, right?
So we
like,
get
it's
lodging here and kind of hang out or something, and then go out to the other tavern. Or do we go check out Eleander's and then come back and check out the one? Or do we just go straight there? I don't know. To me, it seems like this lady does not necessarily have the information we were looking for. But
yeah,
at the same time, I don't know if anyone really does.
Yeah, I'm not sure that anybody has like the specific thing that we're looking for, but
yeah,
if we can figure out like why the people are missing, then I can figure out why presumably
your people are missing.
My people went missing.
What the whoa. Did you see my dog jump and like launch across my screen?
I saw a white flash out of the corner of my eye.
She's got mega zoomies right now. She's running laps.
Funny. Fantastic. That's really funny.
That was scary because like she like launched from like way too far away.
Yeah, so we basically just need to like start kicking up some dust here. See where the stuff falls, I think. I mean, I don't have a particular reason why we shouldn't go just check out the empty net and see what's going on there. Okay. I think Manistrad is expecting us to take care of this. Did it seem like she expected us to like, all right, you're gonna go to Eleander's tonight and like figure out what's going on? Like, are they gonna get hit tonight, or?
It seems to me like she expects everyone to do everything for her.
Well,
so that's kind of like her expectations that she gave you a task is to like fuck off and do it.
I think we never necessarily agreed or disagreed to it.
But so to clarify, like there's already expensive equipment being stolen, and then other stuff's just being broken. So it's a kind of like a plaguing problem. So like, I mean, if it happened again tonight, they're obviously not too mad about it. They're drinking. but they want it resolved relatively soon. Soon being like within a span of like a couple days.
Okay. Well, I think perhaps we chase down this first lead as far as it can take us and see what this thread unravels. Maybe once we finish that, then move on to the other lead.
So are you talking about like going to Eleander's first or going to the nest? Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm thinking we do this side quest and then we're like head on to the next side quest, maybe.
Okay.
Wait, so Eleander's first or to the other one?
Yeah, Eleander's.
Cool. So you guys walk through. As you kind of pass by around the bend, you go ahead and give me perception checks, actually.
Perception. Man, we're giving perception checks all over the place in this. It's a little concerning. Kind of wishing I put more into wisdom.
What was that, Dylan?
Oh, but it doesn't matter.
The crit! That is a 21. Woo! That is a crit with a 21.
So you see kind of like a not a clearing, but like you see a grass-covered wall that is placed. Like the foliage looks like it's placed over a wall, kind of like concealing the actual wall. You kind of see that like hiding like among the stones as you're walking towards this tree line. But you notice that there's like a fake wall there. That's just something you see. But you can choose to explore it, or you can continue on to Eleander's.
I say we explore it. You don't come across a fake wall every now and then.
I mean, do we in this world? I don't know.
It's the first one I've ever come across.
Yeah, but your character isn't 2 hours old.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Woo!
Cool.
Secret door.
Secret
Wait,
door.
what's the meme? What's the meme? Secret passage? Something.
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
That's the one.
Cool. So, what are you doing to this wall? How are you interacting with it? What's going down?
I would like to taste the wall.
Would you actually?
Yes.
So cool. You put your tongue to it. Go ahead and give me a dexterity save.
Don't tell me that they thought of this. What the? That is a 19.
19. So you do save. However, you will be taking.
What the shit could this possibly be?
3 damage. So as you touch this wall, you feel with your tongue, you feel just a series of darts getting shot through the wall. Through like, because the covering is like just like a foliage, so these piercing darts cut through the foliage and kind of like stab you in your stomach. Only for damage peppering your belly.
Ooh. I think you're lagging out there a bit, bud.
That's okay. I've disconnected like 2 times during this whole thing, so.
Yeah. Let's
figure out. Can you hear me?
Yep, there you go. You're back.
I can hear you guys.
You're back.
Yeah, you're good. You're good now.
Okay.
Cool. So we got so I get a couple of darts to the belly. 3 damage. Con save?
And a con save. Yep.
That is a 5.
Okay.
Why would I lick a wall?
So,
why would I do this?
Why would you do this?
I don't know why I did this.
Hold on. Did you factor in that he's a lizard folk and he's got that extra long tongue? So maybe he's pretty far away. He gets like a bonus to. No, I'm just messing with you.
Like,
please.
So that pew.
Lizard man got a lick, dude. This is what it is. This is just what it is, man.
He's used to this. He's got that lizard reflex, you know.
So everything's fine for now, Fooch.
No, don't say that.
Things are gonna happen later.
That's foreshadowing.
Oh no!
So you're fine for right now. You just kind of like pull the little things out of your belly, you know, like no big deal. Unless you want to keep them, you can do whatever you want with them.
Do we get that like CSI like super zoomed in shitty CG where it's just like my bloodstream and then you see things entering the bloodstream?
Dun, 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 like your heart's just like pounding. It's like a little virus is like going through it. That's exactly what's coursing through your veins right now. Cool. So you do that. You realize that outside of just getting a few pokies in the belly, that you can. It's relatively easy to lift this veil covering this wall. As you do so, on the other side, you see a very clear trapped mechanism for anyone who is opening the veil to kind of attack them preemptively. Inside this kind of small cave, you see kind of in the corner, just like in a pile of clumps, there seems to be a few shovels, even a pickaxe, and then even a couple barrels of something. You would have to investigate what's in those barrels to see, but that's what you see immediately in this relatively small room.
We gotta use all the senses here. What do the barrels sound like?
A barrel.
Good. Like rich mahogany.
Barrel.
Would you make a barrel out of mahogany? Probably not, right? No, I don't.
You could.
I mean, I guess you could, but
I feel like
anyway.
oak.
Like a hardy oak. Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, I think you're right.
What about rosewood? Maybe a sandalwood.
I mean, rosewood. I feel like they're not big enough to make a barrel out of. Like it takes probably like 3 or 4 rosewood trees, right?
Oh, are rosewood trees small? I don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Anyway, okay, yeah. Sorry, we're doing this thing.
In this cave, right? There is a bundle of stuff in the corner, and then there seems to be kind of like a other lump in the other corner.
Okay.
Lump.
What kind? Could you describe the lump? Map? I wanna look at the lump without moving any closer.
Dylan, give me a perception check.
Why is it always Dylan with the perception check? What do you think I am, a rogue?
Because food.
I'm better at it.
You're gonna start to feel it.
Oh no!
He's on. Was it an incredibly potent hallucinogen?
So right now.
Oh, we're getting real weird. Episode 1. Let's go.
Your vision's starting to dim more and more as you slowly lose your sense of sight. You're blind for now, but just remember you're blind for now.
Okay.
Cool. This is a fun little poison. So Dylan, you see the stuff on the left. However, the stuff on the right just seems to be a furry tarp.
Draven. Oh, and he disconnect right when. How did?
Yeah, he's like,
Draven, where did you go? I can't see anything.
I disconnected my video for game purposes.
Dramatic effect.
Because you couldn't see me.
Draven, I can't see you.
No one can see me now.
Yeah, there we go. No, I can't see anything. I'm blind? Why am I blind? Oh, those darts were poison.
Smell anything, my boy?
Yes,
so, sorry. Do you mind?
I can smell entirely too much fish on you.
Oh, that's a good thing. Can you explain what's in the room again? You said that there's
shovels,
on
pickaxes, and barrels on the left, and then there's a furry lump on the right.
Furry lump on the right.
It's kind of hard. It just looks like maybe it's a bundle of furs, or maybe it's a rock with fur on it. It's kind of hard to figure what it is.
Can I smell anything coming from the furry lump?
You can give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Like just from the distance from the side of the room.
Disadvantage.
All right, disadvantage. That's an 8.
An 8? Yeah, so you don't really smell the lump. However, you do smell a kind of distinctive chemical within the barrels. So you know instantly that it's some sort of explosive, perhaps gunpowder.
Driven, there's gunpowder in the barrels. I'm blind now, so my other senses are heightened.
You're Daredevil.
I don't understand that human reference.
Me neither. Can you?
Unless Marvel you would like to sponsor us, in which case this cave is brought to you by Netflix.
Yo, for real, we can switch over to a Marvel RPG if you want to just toss some money our way. I'll do it. I'll play that shit real quick.
Anyways.
I guess can I like investigate the furry pile?
Yes. So as you get closer to it, do you touch the furry pile or do you just leave it where it stands?
I mean, I'm just trying to see if I can tell what it is.
Okay, so you just kind of get closer to it.
Yeah.
You see that it is a big old bundle of just furs. You don't see any kind of like if you're thinking it's a bear, surprise, it's not. It is like there doesn't seem to be any animate object within it. It just seems to be a giant bundle of furs.
Oh. Mm-hmm. If you're thinking it's bear, it's not. It's a small bear.
It is a moose.
That's not small. That's real big.
Arguably scarier.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's happening? Drevin, what's happening? I can't see anything. Still, I'm blind. If that wasn't clear.
I mean, from what I can tell in the room, there seems to be some gunpowder, and it's almost like a storeroom, right? And some furs. It doesn't seem like there's anything weird going on in here.
It's definitely strange. It was booby trapped. I'm blind. I think it's a little suspicious.
Right? Yeah, I mean, is it stolen furs or something?
They very well could be. Perhaps we should take them and take them somewhere to somebody who might know where they were taken from.
Sure.
You guys take the furs, or you take where are you taking? Because all the stuff would be too heavy to carry between the two of you.
Oh yeah,
but like
sure.
if you want to take like a bundle of fur and like a pickaxe and a shovel, like you could do that. Or you could take like one barrel of gunpowder. Like I'd say you'd be able to carry that.
I don't want to carry on a barrel of gunpowder, man. Look, like I don't trust Muffin to not have somebody huck a fireball at us.
I'm just saying, if you want to, you can have it. Like,
no,
I'll even let you have two if you really want to.
Look, I've watched you play enough Divinity to know that I'm not carrying a barrel of gunpowder around. That's not gonna happen.
Fireball.
A small match is thrown at you from across the room.
Yeah, I think we just maybe take like a couple of the furs or something and see if anyone knows anything about them. I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
To me, the rest of this room just seems kind of. I mean, it's a little weird that it was booby trapped, but maybe they were tired of people stealing all their stuff because that's what they were talking about earlier at the mine or at the bar, right?
Yeah, maybe, or maybe this is like a stash of stolen stuff. Either way, I mean, if it's theirs, or sorry. I suppose if it's theirs, then we can always just come and put it back. If it's not, then hey, we found some of their stuff.
Is there anything else in this room?
Appreciative.
Like any other exits or doorways or anything, or is it just like a little room with a couple things in it?
No, it's just a little room with a couple things in it.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I say we take maybe a couple of the furs and.
Yeah, cool. Just shove a bunch of them in the pack and then head over to what's his name's house.
Cool. So as you dig through the furs, I will say you do find a small signet ring. It doesn't seem to have much value. It seems to be a copper ring. You've seen, more illustrious things from a swindler. It's nothing special, but it does seem to have a mark of some sort, some sort of house on the ring. You can go ahead and give me a history check if you'd like, to see if you can identify the house sigil.
The history master.
Man, that's going in the quest item pouch.
But you do not know or recognize this house sigil.
That is a 14.
Had you had an advantage, maybe. Anyways, but you know it's not, the ring's not worth a lot. It just probably holds sentimental value or familial value or something like that. It's more heirloom than it is like jewelry. Cool. So you guys take that. I presume you leave the cave and head back down the path, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So are you guys going still to Eleander's house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. So you guys get to the big blue house overlooking the sea over here. Tucked at the edge of town and overlooking the sea, Eleander's home provides a scene with a relaxing sanctuary away from the bustle of Saltmarsh. Eleander maintains the largest library in town, largely collected during his days in the military. It is said that much is known in the archives of Aleander, and he is among the most educated in all of Saltmarsh. So you see this like massive home. It has kind of like all kinds of like niceness and luxuries. On the outside here, you see a bunch of like, so this immediate building would be kind of like the servant quarters of this estate. The building over here and some of these other smaller buildings you would know would be kind of developmental homes for the dwarves who are working the mine, which is just above right here. So as you guys approach Eleander's home, you hear what sounds like to be a small bit of rustling, like kind of like the sound like of a kettle going off, like so not really rustling, but like a high pitch like, and then a small explosion. As you hear the kaboom, you see out of the front door steps out Eleander, completely charred in soot from a recent experiment gone wrong. His hair is like blasted upwards, his eyebrows singed, as he kind of comes out and sees the two of you. He is like he didn't realize you were coming, so he's like, "Oh, visitors. Sorry, I'm not presentable." And you see him kind of like brush off the soot from his like clothes and everything. And he says, "What can I do for you? What brings you to my lovely estate at this fine hour of the evening?"
We were actually on our way to speak with you about the crash of robberies, but we heard the explosion. Are you okay? Are you injured?
And it's like as you're kind of like inquiring, and he's just like, "Robberies, you say? Wow. And explosions. Let me show you something. Come here, my scaly friend. Come here." And he kind of like draws you near,
Yeah,
and
sure.
like as you kind of get closer, he kind of like takes a small stick of something, and he lights the top of it, and he chucks it. And as he chucks it, you hear this loud boosh.
No.
He's like, "You
Okay.
see, this is better than any mage's fireball out there in the market right now, for I call this the kaboom stick. All you do is just light the top and you throw it and it goes kaboom. And if you're in the middle of it, you're reduced to a stick. It is going to be the most revolutionary tool that's ever been brought to the mining scene, and I'm going to be rich. Rich, I say, richer than I already am. Anyways, can I get you some tea? Perhaps you'd like a little bit of the boomstick?"
A little bit of the boomstick?
I'll try one.
He gives you like a small one. He's like it's no larger than kind of like a knuckle on like a human finger. And he gives it to you, and he's like, this is the one that we're trying to roll out for the kids. And then you see him like give it like a big broad smile, and he's like, light the top of that one and just throw it on the ground. I would still try not to throw it on your toes. We haven't worked out the kinks of blowing them off.
Yeah, I think I throw it like entirely too far, and like
it's just like a little crack.
Yeah, you hear a little beep. And like it doesn't even sound that bad. And he's like, oh, that one must have been a dud. But anyways, and then he just kind of like goes along. And you see him like take out another like metal tin, and he pulls out a cigarette and he's about to light it, and right before he lights it, he's like, oh, wait a second, these are one of the Kaboom Stick menthols, and he puts it back into the tin. He's like, I always almost make that mistake. You think I'd put it in the right pocket by now. And he pulls out a different tin and pulls out a different cigarette and lights it.
This man's gonna blow himself up.
So he's like, so again, so I see you guys aren't here for the Kaboom Stick, then what possibly could you want at this fine hour? Nancy takes a drag from his cigarette.
Aye, well, you see, we were sent down here by Manistrad to...
Manistrad, eh?
She said that you could use some help. You've been having some issues with the mines.
Ah, yes, Manistrad, she worries too much. So a few barrels go missing. It's not a big deal, things disappear. She's always so worried about the bottom line, but really, what's the bottom line in the face of progress? And you see him kind of like raise a fist at that, of just like excited.
Eleander, can you tell me, what exactly are you mining out of this mine?
He looks at you, he's like, huh, why don't you know? We're getting the finest silver for the king. And if we don't find silver, then we'll get iron. And if not iron, then gold. We'll always find some good wares in the depths of the Saltmarsh mine, because we are trying to bring back our little nation away from the sea princes. And we are going to make Saltmarsh the biggest capital of the southern lands that there's been.
I see.
So he said, if they don't find silver, they'll find gold or like iron or whatever. Like, do I get the impression from that like they haven't found anything yet, or is this like a we find lots of shit kind of situation?
Give me an insight roll.
That is a
okay.
24.
So yeah, you totally get the vibe that it's more the former, like that they haven't found anything of true value yet.
Huh.
But you also get the sincerity of his gusto. Like he truly believes in the mission of making Saltmarsh a hub for the king.
Gotcha.
Like he's very like brazenly a loyalist of the king and of the king's mission in Saltmarsh.
Yeah. They're gonna make this a giant trade hub, and yeah. Okay.
So Eleander, Manistrad sent us down here. What exactly is it that you be needing help with?
Well, you see, in my venture of these Kaboom Sticks, I have been commandeering a bit of supplies from the mine. Just bringing home some gunpowder for experiments and the such. However, a couple nights ago, as I was testing my Kaboom Sticks, I noticed that a lot of my wares were stolen. Including some of my fine blankets that you could tell he almost said swindled, but he didn't. But he's like, that I procured from some other foreign traders who came from the Northern Gate not too long ago. But all my wares were stolen. And on top of that, they went ahead and destroyed a lot of my experiment tables. There wasn't much left. All that was left was a flaming crater by the end.
And do we know exactly where the mine is at this point?
He kind of like points up the road and would be kind of like up here.
Okay.
Oh, the
So,
mine's like right over there. It's like
Yeah,
in town.
like he's just in front of the mine.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And how many times do you think, or have you been noticing these events where things have been missing?
Well, it appears it's every fortnight or two. My usually they take about a barrel's worth of gunpowder, and then that's really kind of the big thing. But gunpowder's expensive, as you can be aware. One of these kaboom sticks alone goes for 5 gold pieces. That's not anything to scoff at. And for those miniature ones for the kids, I think I could charge 30 silver pieces a pop.
No, not for the kids. No, that's not good. No, that's not.
It's just firecrackers with
Yeah.
more danger.
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
Don't try this at home, kids.
But
Kaboom
also
sticks.
buy our product. What?
But also buy kaboom sticks.
Yeah, just don't do it at home. Do it at somebody else's home. It's fine, whatever. That's
So,
how homeowners
Eleander,
insurance works, right?
do you have any idea who might be stealing the fish from your nets, for lack of a better word?
Well,
Why?
not fish, and you see him like scratching his like temple, and it's like he clearly like missed the euphemism or idiom, and he's
The eggs
like
from your nest?
it's like I don't know much about fishing, but I do know about building, and I know about mining, and I do know that there are many enemies of the king around here, namely the Scarlet Brotherhood and those dirty traditionalists who'd rather us leave this mine here entirely. If you'd like to think of anyone who'd like to steal from us, I could point you to any individual in town. And if they aren't wearing the signet of the king or the mining company, then they're probably among your culprits.
Oh, so can we like show him the signet ring that we found and ask him if that's the signet of the king?
Sure. So you show him the signet, and as soon as you do, his eyes go wide at it. And he's like, "Where did you find that? Give it here!" And he like snatches it from your hands, and he like inspects it over, and he's like, "Where did you find this?"
I mean,
Am I still blind? Hold on. Am I still blind?
yeah.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Actually, at this point, you're not blind. However, you have gone numb and you no longer feel the sense of touch.
You fucking what?
So
You fucking
yes.
what, mate?
You can't feel anything, but you can see and smell and hear.
Okay.
You just
But
can't feel.
I'm not like paralyzed. Like I can still I just can't feel anything.
You just like if you're grabbing something, it's like when they like Novocaine and when you
Sure.
get like a tooth done.
Yeah,
It's kind of like that.
Okay.
But
Oh,
everywhere
that's
on
gonna
your whole
suck when
body.
it wears off.
So I guess
Unless it
technically
gets
you'd also
worse.
be speaking with like a like with a numb tongue.
I think I just fall over. I just fall over and I just start drooling a little bit. Like I can't feel enough. Oh god. Okay. A lizard that like their whole mouth is numb. How do you do that voice?
Like yeah. Yeah, that's rough. That's just straight up rough.
I can't feel anything. Sorry, continue.
But yeah, so he kind of goes on a like long loyalist rant about how the traditionalists are destroying Saltmarsh, and the fact that they don't want to accept the king is borderline heresy, and they should all be hanged for treason.
I think the whole time he's making that speech, I'm just like, but like I can't feel anything. It's like touching stuff.
So, So sorry, I don't know if I caught it or not, but was the ring we showed him, was that a sigil of the king, or was that
Oh no,
more
it
of the
was not a
traditionalism?
sigil. Uh, it was really neither. And it is at about this point you realize he hasn't given the ring back.
Um, Aleander, do you know or do you not know what that ring says, or what that ring means?
Uh, he looks at it over once more and he says, "Well, you see," and he kind of is like a little shifty-eyed at this, and he's like, "This is a great evil ring. It's cursed, I say. If ye who wears it will sure never to catch a fish again." And he kind of goes shifty-eyed. And it's like, this ring's no good for you. I should be happy to take this off your hands and really uh,
Yo,
make
let me
this.
roll that insight. Let me roll that insight.
Go for it.
17. What's he got?
He's absolutely lying about
Yeah,
something.
he's like,
He's absolutely lying.
I'd be like, Aleander, I'd appreciate it if you gave me my property back. If you don't know nothing about it, then that's fine, but it's mine and I'd like it back.
He looks at you and he like very reluctantly hands it over. And is like, fine, fine. Take it, take your curses, but if you never catch a fish a day again, don't come back to old Eleander's house and come complaining. I warned you. And he kind of just shrugs his shoulders and is like, "Well, I'm sure it is late in the hour, and I have more kaboom sticks to test. So if you all be at it, then I shall see you on your way."
Okay, I guess. I mean,
I like wobbly get up on my feet.
Yeah.
He's clearly hiding something. He knows more than what he's saying about the
that ring.
Yes.
I agree. I say it's about time we head down to the what's it called? Empty nest, or the empty net. Maybe find out some more information about this ring here.
If it's a signet ring from some kind of noble house, maybe we shouldn't shouldn't ask them there. Sorry.
Ask them there about
Maybe
the ring. Okay.
ask not the sifty people. Oh, I hate this.
Oh.
Remind me
What
not
do you
to
say we do?
lick any more walls. Yeah, to the empty net, but or I suppose we could set up a trap for anyone trying to steal equipment from the mine tonight. They were stealing from the mine, right?
They're stealing from Eleanders, who was stealing from the mine, or I guess commandeering because he works for the mine technically. But
okay. So he's taking supplies to use for his stuff, which could potentially be used for mining anyway, but then it's getting stolen from his place.
Yeah. Okay. Probably because he doesn't have like a mine to secure his stuff in.
Okay, so I'm thinking we set up a Scooby-Doo trap.
Scooby-Doo trap?
I'm thinking we set up...
I hate it. I love it. I love it.
I'm thinking we set up a Scooby-Doo trap. I got this handy little spell here. I'm gonna put it in chat there. Snare. I've literally never seen this spell used in any D&D game, so I immediately took it. So basically, Scooby-Doo trap, the spell. And it only cost me half of the length of rope that comes in my explorer's pack.
Perfect. Yeah. Luckily, we're in a town. We can probably find more rope.
Yeah, I'm not super worried about the rope. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. So as you cast a spell, you use a rope to create a 5-foot radius, a circle with a 5-foot radius on the ground or floor. When you finish casting, the rope disappears and the circle becomes a magical trap. The trap is nearly invisible, requiring a investigation check against spell DC to determine. The trap triggers when a small, medium, or large creature moves onto the ground or the floor in the spell's radius. They make a dex save or be magically hoisted into the air, leaving it hanging upside down 3 feet above the ground. Fucking Scooby-Doo trap. The creature is restrained there until the spell ends.
Is there a size limit on it? The trap when a small, medium, or large. Okay,
small, medium, or large lasts 8 hours.
Okay, yeah, neat.
Okay, we just need to know what are we gonna bait the trap with.
Well, maybe we can take some of the gunpowder and stuff from that storeroom or the furs. I don't know.
Yes, we should drag out the barrels of gunpowder and like leave them maybe kind of like haphazardly out back, and then do the circle around them.
So just so I know, you guys are, where are you putting the snare?
I don't think we really decided yet. I'm thinking somewhere like around Eleander's.
Okay, so around Eleander's, though, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. Cool.
I mean, I think before we do this, we would tell him, like,
right,
hey, we're gonna do it. Like, knock on the door and tell him, like, hey, here's the plan. Like, people have been stealing.
I was really hoping you guys were just going to trap Eleander. But that's prudent. That is a prudent thing to announce, so that is fair. Because I totally would have gone with that.
I got 16 wisdom, dude. I'm gonna tell the guy who lives here, hey, I'm setting some shit up in your backyard. Like,
I'm gonna set up some mine traps. Great. So cool. You guys.
Oh, actually, you know what? Yes, it's not. Thank you for reminding me. So this is gonna be the end of the day. This is actually probably a bad idea, but I'm gonna cut the 50 foot of rope that I have in half, and we can set up 2 snares.
Cool. Yeah, I'd allow that.
Sure.
So you go ahead and set up like 2 kind of like snares, like one towards the entryway of kind of the estate, one right by the barrels, kind of like prudent to just kind of like trap anyone, like obviously baited traps with those barrels of gunpowder that are left over here.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wouldn't be that obvious because like the trap is nearly invisible, right? So like if they're looking, then maybe, but
yes, but like kind of like it's a well placed baited trap. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Cool.
Cool. So that's kind of what's going on there. Are you guys just gonna stake out the rest of the night, or
I think that would be a good idea.
I suppose if Iliander's gonna let us, if there's a room with windows, we can just like, if he'll let us stay the night there and like just take shifts. We can do like a watch.
Give me to stay the night. You're gonna need to give me a persuasion with disadvantage.
What about me?
He does not want house guests of any kind. He is very into his studies and into his work, and he prefers it to not have distractions. So if he you can try to persuade him on that.
What about
it would be a disadvantage.
What about in one of his other look, because he's got other quarters, right? Like other houses nearby, right?
Specifically, you would just need to give me it with disadvantage. There are other circumstances why, but yeah.
Well, if Drevin wants to make the pitch, I can like assist with like, look, we'll just stay in this room, blah blah blah. Like,
yeah, that's fine. He rolled 215, so neutralized
sure.
advantage with the aid. So yeah, so basically he very reluctantly like allows you to stay the night. But with it, he wants to know like in extreme detail, and like he makes you go over it like 12 different times of like where you put the traps and like why they're there, and like he then like mocks you and how like this isn't gonna work, and all this stuff, and he's really just being like a wall the entire time towards your objective, but he lets you spend the night.
I don't know, man. I got a +5 in survival. Like, I'm pretty confident. Pretty confident in traps. This is gonna be real funny when Muffin's like, yeah, you wake up in the morning, nothing happened. Alright, so he lets us do the thing?
So you guys spend the night keeping watch, waiting for things to disappear. Throughout the evening, you hear routine explosions shaking the house. And at one point, you think you hear like a lot of swearing as right after one of those explosions. Someone then screaming, "We need a medic quickly." No, we're fine. Actually, false alarm. And that's kind of how your night went. In the morning, you look through kind of the window. You see that the barrels are still there, as the magic flickers away from your snare and traps, just kind of fading over time as
Damn.
nothing came to steal them.
Hmm.
The foreshadowing foods. You're guessing these too early.
Yeah, that's fair. I should not do that.
But that's fun. That's really cool. But cool. So that's kind of nothing was stolen that night. Um, but yeah, it's the morning. You see Eleander. He comes out. You see he is only wearing a robe. As he kind of like comes out very free. He owns the place, and he says, "Ah, I see that you're still here. Clearly, no vagrants had stumbled through the night outside of yourselves." And he says that last bit under his breath. But he says, I suppose your time's better used elsewhere, and not just spent wasted here with me." As he kind of starts to dig into his pocket, and then you see him dig into the other pocket for the tin of cigarettes, the correct tin of cigarettes, as he lights it.
That was my rope.
I mean, you still does the rope go away?
No, the
or is
rope
it
is
just
used
no longer
up.
magic?
Yeah, it's used up.
I just yeah, your rope's gone.
Yeah, 25 feet of rope, which the spell consumes. Fuck, now I have to buy more rope.
Lol.
That's fine.
Shucks.
Cool. But so that's what happens there.
That's gonna be my goal for this campaign. Is that I'm gonna catch somebody in a Scooby-Doo trap.
I think Muffin froze on me.
Yep, that's what I'm feeling.
Can you still hear me?
You're good.
Test.
You're good now.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
That's gonna be my goal. I'm gonna catch somebody in a Scooby-Doo trap.
It's a solid goal.
I really feel like I can do
it. Cool. So he urges you guys on your way. Yeah. What do you guys want to do now?
Well, it's the next morning, right?
Yes.
Should we maybe I think the only other lead we have so far is either to check out the mine itself, or so I can think of like 3 different things. We can either check the mine itself, check out the empty net, which is kind of a shady tavern, or we can maybe inquire a bit more around town about the traditionalists compared to the loyalists, right? It sounds like the loyalists are more part of the mining company and are there on the king's decree, whereas maybe the traditionalists are more related to the sea princes. Am I getting this right?
Yes and no. So like, yes to the first part. Like, so they're not really tied to the sea princes as much as traditionalists like the way things are, and that means Saltmarsh is kind of this backwater pirate town. Um, kind of a home for unsavory folks.
Gotcha.
So, but like the loyalists want to come in and like literally gentrify all this, remove all the crime, and turn this into more of like a New York City type area instead of like a backwater marsh.
Gotcha.
Um, and that's kind of like where the tensions are arising between the two factions.
Gotcha. And
Because with the gentrification comes more guards, more kings, more eyes. You
Gotcha.
can't smuggle as much stuff. It's bad for business.
So do we kind of get the idea or the feeling that the Scarlet Brotherhood is more on the traditionalist side than the loyalist side?
So you
Or are
would
they just a
know
third faction?
they're a third faction. So you would know that these are people who like they want to see salt marsh burn, um, only because of the fact that they are of an ascended being of humans. So their whole thing is that they need to conquer and subjugate all of man, um, and if they can't subjugate it, then they are to exterminate it.
Gotcha.
So they're essentially the like, I guess, saltwater or salt marsh Nazi kind of thing, but
Gotcha.
they operate in secret, and kind of thing where like if it's more akin to like a secret society, like a culty kind of like Nazi
Gotcha.
cult, I guess. But that's kind of what they're about.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll go for it.
So I think, I mean, as far as right now or where we're at, to me the two biggest leads are to either just kind of stake out this area and see if we can catch anyone trying to steal again, or maybe we investigate a little bit more about the town, specifically maybe checking out the empty net. What do you think, Fuge?
I'm good with trying to continue to like pursue
out?
these like thieves.
Okay.
I mean, obviously we got like a whole day to like figure out where to go next. So maybe we try to like maybe just like go to the mine and like go talk to people around the mine and like see if anybody like seen anything.
Cool. So you guys head towards the mine. Not long after you guys leave, you hear rather a horse and carriage head northward down this road, from the Eleander estate. Uh, that's all you kind of see as you head toward the mine. Once you get there, that's when you see you're welcomed by Manistrad. She has a clipboard in hand, and she looks the two of you over and she just says, "Well, well, well, if it isn't my favorite pair of adventurers. I take it that you have several pikes and heads on them. If not, then what is it that that you are doing here, may I ask?"
We be inquiring a bit more about this situation, seeing if maybe any of the miners had seen anything lately, anything suspicious.
Free to ask questions, I suppose. However, just be sure that you don't interrupt their work. They are, and we are paying them per hour, and we are not paying them to talk to adventurers. Um, and you see her kind of shoo you along as you see like another dwarf like coming over to her urgently, kind of like, "Hey, you need to like come sign this." So, but yeah, so she kind of like ushers you guys to the sides. You see a bunch of dwarves kind of like grabbing shovels, pickaxes, and just kind of like going into the mines, effectively singing "Hi Ho," as they come going into the mine.
Hi ho, hi ho.
You approach one who's still kind of like lagging behind, and putting his gloves on. You notice that this dwarf is visibly hungover, probably one of the dwarves at the table with Manistrad the night prior, and you see him, and he's available to ask questions.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I'd approach him and be like, "Well, hey there, friend. I do recall seeing you at the bar last night. How are you feeling today?"
He looks at you and he's like, "I've seen better mornings. You know how it goes. Some days you wake up with the sickness, other days you still wake up with the sickness, but you get stuff done. You know what I'm saying there, laddie?"
Oh, you're telling me. Well, let me ask you a few questions. Look, we've heard there's been weird going-ons happen around this mine, specifically with some stealing that's been happening. Have you noticed anything strange going on around here?
The only stealing I see is from that crooked Leander taking our gunpowder, using it for his own devices, the explosive ones. He says it's going to help the mine, but I've liquored him up, and he's definitely said that it's just for his profits. The mine is just secondary. His devotion to the king, second to that. It seems that one only cares about money, is all. But outside of that, I don't see much riffraff. For you see, us dwarves, this is all we have over here in Saltmarsh. Before this, the only jobs we could do was fishing or even privateering. But if you're good with a sword, that is a short life. And I very much or I'm very much grateful for the mines.
Interesting. Well, have you heard anything else weird or strange going on around the town? What about the missing people I heard the jailer talking about earlier?
Yes, I heard much about missing folk. Many of them seem to be adventurers, those who tend to check out the house, the mansion east of Saltmarsh of the town. Seldom do they come back from there. I knew a different dwarf who was looking to find a quick coin. He said he could turn around the antiques looted from the mansion, but that was 6 months ago, and we've never seen him at the taverns, and no one's heard of him since. Dirty business, that mansion. I would steer clear if I were you, especially if you're the adventuring sort.
A mansion east of town, you say?
Aye.
Huh. Is there anyone else who might know more about this place?
Most of the fishermen stay clear from that. However, outside of just the rumors and the fishermen tales of ghosts and demons, not much coming from there.
It sounds like we should check out that mansion on the next episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
Fades to black.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Exactly. Next time on Saltmarsh Z. Yep. Okay. So, let me take us over here. All right. So, this would normally be the point where we would do shout-outs, stealing a format from other shows. Except nobody else is a streamer here, so there's no need to do shoutouts. So, if there's anywhere you would like anybody to hit you up on any of the social medias, feel free to mention that in chat. If you guys would like to stream at some point or would like to be public anywhere at some point, then go ahead and put that in chat. As for me, you're on my channel, so you've already found me. So, so the plan is, we will mention this. The plan is we're going to be doing 2 more episodes of this show. We'll see what we get, and then a certain somebody is going to be gone doing something which we can't talk about for about a month, roundabout. So in that time, we're gonna have 5 episodes of another show in the same time slot from 7 to 10 Monday night. TBD what show that is and who's gonna be on it. By that I mean what game we're playing. Still to be determined. I'm thinking probably a game that runs pretty well as like a couple of things, maybe like Dungeon World or something similar. I think probably we'll do something like that. But for the next couple of weeks, we'll have 2 more episodes of Ghost of Saltmarsh, and then we'll be back after a 5-week break, right before or during or after or before. I think before Shadowlands comes out. So that'll be a good time. We'll have these on Monday nights, and hopefully I won't have a raid at that time that I'll have to miss. But hey, we'll have a while before raids come out anyway. So until then, I'll be streaming throughout the week. Stream almost every day. Hit the follow button if you want to come and watch me stream some other games. We'll probably do some Among Us. These guys will probably be there throughout the week. Yeah, probably this more than likely this weekend, since it went so well last weekend. Friday or Saturday or both. We'll do some more Twitch things. That's been super fun, and it's been plenty of viewers, so I'm assuming that you guys like watching it. So we'll go ahead and keep that up on the weekends then. And with that, I hope everybody has a lovely evening, and I hope you enjoyed the show. See you next week.
Yep.